doing this same thing in my house. You have to get out my house. I'm sorry, I don't know where you gonna go, but you can call your mama and ask her, can you come back down?
You already know she don't want me with her, so why would you even...
I don't care. You keep doing the same thing. You keep doing the same thing. I send you to school, you ditch your school. You steady calling these little boys. I don't
even talk to nobody.
Look, I told you to stay away from these little boys. We're not gonna keep doing this. I'm not going over this no more with you. You have to get your stuff and get out my house. Yes, you have to figure it out. You gotta figure it out. I'm tired. Call your mama right now. Call your mama. See, that's your problem. That's your problem right now. Your attitude. You're only 14 years old. Call your mama. Here. Call your mama right now. You gotta get out my house. I'm done. You too grown. You're only 14 years old. You steady doing the same thing. I found weed in your room.
That wasn't even mine.
Who weed was it?
You know my friend was over here last time.
That's your problem. You hanging out with these little fast-ass little girls.
I told her not to do it.
No, you steady lying. That's your problem. You need to stop lying and go to school. All I asked you to do was go to school. I buy you everything you want. And you steady crying for what? All you got to do is do the right thing. But pack your stuff and get out of my house. You can leave now.
Jesus.
Initial thoughts, fellas. What's your initial thoughts, man?
Jay, I'm gonna let you go first. You got daughters, brother.
Yeah, bro. Facts, though.
This is tough for me. I'll be honest. I had a couple different emotions go, through my mind. First of all, I understand where he's coming from as far as because I have a preteen, almost a full teenager. So I get it with different things happening, but we got to understand it's a day and age where they have access to a lot of things. Social media, they have access to a lot of people, texting, phone, have that stuff growing up like that. That's the first thing. The second thing for me to hit home for me is I had to realize this as a parent. I had to take accountability too. I'm going to tell you why. The stuff that your child is doing at 13, 14, 15, you should have been talking to them at 3, 4, and 5 about. And you got to take accountability and understand that a lot of these things that are transpiring right now is because you didn't have those tough, hard conversations with them then. So they're acting out, doing different things. And yeah, we like to be like, oh, it's social media, it's lashing out. It's a lot of those factors. But in reality, it's also that when things were happening, it wasn't being checked. So it hit me a way because I have daughters and I go through different things, especially dealing with a preteen. But I got to look back at myself too and be like, yeah, well, it was a time when those things happened. You didn't check that. Why? Yeah. And now this is the product of that.
So do you think he was wrong for how he addressed her?
Yeah, I would have never told my daughter she got to go live with her mama. That was stupid as hell. I would have never said that. The reason why is because if, first of all, whatever's going on over there, and she's bringing it over here. You feel me? So it's like you're trying to be disciplinary, all these things. I'm not saying her mother's a bad mother by any stretch, but in reality is that the daughter's only acting out what she sees. So she thinks it's cool to do those things. You're trying to be this one way, but I would have never, I don't care what happened. I ain't kicking my daughter out. I'll be very straight to the point. It ain't happening.
Yeah, I feel like Jay said it all, but for one, why record and post it? That's the first thing. Why you got to put that on the internet, right? Second, you're gonna tell her to go live with her mama, and her first response is, she don't want me over there.
That's
so
insane.
If she knows she don't want her over there, she don't want her over there. So you kind of being an ass, so she ain't got nowhere to go. 14 years old, that's a child. You don't put her on the street. You get her the help she needs. But overall, I think you said it the best, Jay. Like, that's a learned behavior. Her behavior is learned. And if she's spending the most time with you, who's she learning from? You got to check yourself.
That's right.
Damn, bro.
Man.
I probably shouldn't say nothing, man.
Why you say that?
So I'm gonna take it out of retrospect to having a daughter. So I'm gonna start with, I do think having a daughter is different. I don't have one. I think, as a father, as a man, how you address your daughter matters. You know what I'm saying? I'm stepping into this year, and I don't want to be too much, but like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, I think what made it wrong for me is that he knew she had nowhere to go because her mother didn't want her over there.
Yeah.
But I do believe 14 is a little aggressive, but I do believe there's times in children's life where they got to feel the burn a little bit. Now, granted, I think it should be a sustainable situation where you trying to say they should go. Like, if you're saying they need to go to her mother's house, it can't be no situation where you put her in harm's way or something where she's not wanted. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying she's speaking on the video, but I'm going to be honest, man. It's like back to checking yourself. Okay, I didn't check myself. These are the behaviors that's going on. I got to deal with real time. I can't be so mad at myself for what I didn't do at 4 years old, and I'm not dealing with the behaviors at whatever said age.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I do think we live in a social media era. I do think kids are going to try things. You know what I'm saying? But to me, and maybe it's me, I'm not trying to be insensitive. It's like, I heard a fed up dad. He may have condoned those behaviors. He may have showed her the way, but like, bruh sounded fed up off some like, hey, bro, what we on, dog? Like, you get everything you want. You doing what you want. You running with a crew I told you not to run with. You got weed all in my house. What would be the next step, though? Now, granted, she said, you know, her mom don't want her over there. I think that's not cool. But like, what would be the next step, though? And I don't want to be too harsh, but y'all know me. My thinking somewhat rigid. Like, what we doing here? You can't keep wilding. And I just keep saying, okay, baby, next day. Am I tripping?
No, I think that the next step is therapy or something along those lines. There's a deeper issue, because what you're saying she's not receiving, and the reason why I say this is because he said in the video, I keep telling you multiple times. So this is a repeated behavior, right? So the next step is there has to be something else. Obviously, sending her to her mom's house, that ain't gonna work. When she said that comment, I'm like, yeah, that's not a good idea. That environment is not gonna make her thrive, do what she did, right? In actuality, somebody else needs to talk to her to see it's a deeper issue. Whether that she made, because kids, bro, you being an educator is a perfect person to have this conversation with. You've interacted with kids throughout your whole life, right?
For sure.
Bro, you've seen ups, downs, whatever. People come in here. Kids say stuff to teachers that they would never say to their parents.
For sure.
You know that, right? So it's a deeper issue that she's not communicating to him. And I think that's what needs to be addressed to fix that problem.
All right. My problem is, I think an ass whooping fix a lot, man.
Bro,
I ain't gonna lie.
He said time and time again. How many times do you think he whooped her ass?
Yeah, I feel like he passed that. They are past that.
He passed
but
that.
this is the thing, though. I feel like that dynamic get weird when you have a little girl. Like, you probably not whooping her because she is a girl. So you doing all these threats, like, get out my house, go to your mama's house, because you not doing it.
Ooh.
Come on, man. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man.
They say, boy, spit a rod, spit a child, or something like that, boy.
But Jay, you not gonna be just tearing up your 14-year-old daughter and you mid-30s.
I'm not, but I do. Well, first of all, she definitely, you know what I'm saying, get that discipline. But more so, honestly, I try to have more conversation to trying to understand her thought pattern, her thought process. Because I understand that I don't want to over-discipline her. Number one, because it feels weird when you're a dad and you got daughters. Whooping your daughter feels weird. I don't care what nobody say. For me, it feels weird as hell. But I also try to have conversations to see, like, okay, what made you think like that? And me personally, as a father, my only fear is that I lose that voice within their mind and they never want to communicate with me. So when it hits the fan, when they get older, they're gonna be like, nah, I can't trust my dad because he's too judgmental. He's not gonna understand what's going on. And then they in a bad situation, they don't communicate that to me. That's one of my worst fears.
Salute. I just feel like this is my thing, man. And I want y'all. My thing is this. Again, I don't have a daughter, so I'm speaking more as a parent than I am as a father of a daughter.
Okay.
I get new age kids, but we can't be ineffective parenting. We can't be ineffective parents trying to cater to every little need that they don't understand. I'll give you an example. I'm not saying kids don't feel feelings. I'm not saying they can't articulate themselves. I'm not telling them shut up and do what I say. But in the very same note, there are instances where us as parents, as experienced humans, know better for them, and they don't understand it yet. I'm not saying that was the case in that, but what I am saying is like sometimes we can't. It ain't all about what you want. Nah, you're not doing that, regardless of what you feel. That's not about to happen, and I'm not gonna let you. And you can hate me right now. We can be for the next 2 years, but I'm saving your life right now. I feel like sometimes as millennials, we hop out of that bag too much. You know what I'm saying? Like we I want them to, hey, look, don't talk to me. You're gonna be safe and not talking to me though. Because I've never seen a healthy, strict, or healthy parent relationship not yield good results in the future, and the kid always comes back around and said, I understand now. I ain't talking about no toxic joint where you like, no, you can't talk. We can have a conversation. I want to understand how you feel. I'm going to acknowledge it. I'm going to validate your feelings. And then I'm going to tell you why we're not doing it.
Do you feel like that's missing from that clip we saw? Do you feel like that is missing from their relationship?
I just think, this is my personal opinion, I think when you in a co-parenting type situation and it's one parent doing more than the other, that shit just tough. Because you really feel like you're back against the wall. Like if she's saying her mother don't want her over there, first of all,
that's the thing.
You know what I'm saying?
That is
like why I'm knocking off chicks. I like, you feel that, so our kid can't be at your house. So I also think he feel the pressure of like, I ain't got no choice. I'm gonna lose it on you.
So let me ask you. Let me play devil's advocate really quick.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
So what you said, you made a good point when you were talking about like millennials, as far as like, hey, you know, getting to the point where we've had this conversation, like they'll come back around eventually and be like, hey, you know, you were right, right? Okay, how many times did your parents have conversations with you and you still did what you wanted to do?
All the time.
That's the same thing she doing.
Yeah, but I think the difference is like,
go
ahead.
I said that to make a point of like not the gentle parenting and what people are quoting it as, but in reality is that these are human beings. They're gonna do what they want to do no matter what. Your time may have been a little bit sooner for you to be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You know what? Dang, my mom was right. Dang, my dad was right. She's not in that my dad was right, my mom was right moment right now. You weren't at 14 either.
Hey, Jay, let me kill that noise real quick.
All right.
How many hours? Tell me your mom work schedule when you was coming up. From when to when?
She worked 2 jobs.
My mom did too. So what time she leave in the morning? What time she get back?
She probably left at 6 and then got back at like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night.
What time you get out of school?
At that time, elementary school was like 2:30. Middle school and high school was like 3:45.
So you got out. You had to 3:45 to 8 something to do what you wanted. No supervision, right?
Yeah.
What time you get off work now?
Shit, boy.
Say regular schedule, not when you're doing overtime. Regular schedule.
Regular schedule. I get off at 3:30.
What time your kids get out of school?
At 3:45.
Okay, they ain't got that. We ain't our parents.
Because Maddie in sports, Mackenzie go to after school, but they don't have that free time of being home by themselves.
Exactly. That's when I was doing what I want because I knew you had to stay at work. If my mom was when she stopped doing that and she was coming home, oh no, I'm not doing that. When I heard that Jeep in the driveway, oh no, y'all. Hey, all this over with.
That's cap, boy. That's cap, boy. But all right.
Hey, I'm saying this. I did what I want.
Going into, but you know what I'm saying? You had some little time to do what you had to do.
No,
you know
I did, but what I'm saying is me doing what I want was predicated on knowing my mom had to work. I wasn't just wilding and she was finding out about it.
Okay. So do you think that
she got caught with the weed?
No, that's some truth to that. That's very true. That's truth to that.
She got caught with the weed. She got caught with if she ain't get caught with it, what can we argue about?
That's true.
Yeah, I'm just saying, bro. No, I'm not with that, bro.
That's a good point.
Any other thoughts on that?
No.
Okay. Hey, great topics, y'all. We about to get into a fair foul and get up out of here. All right, man. So you know what I'm saying? We back in the fair or foul game. You understand where I'm coming from? So we talking about marriage, talking about relationships, man. Making big purchases without talking to your partner. Is it fair or is it foul?
What do you consider a big purchase? It depends.
Okay.
It depends.
So what's the biggest purchase you'll make without talking to your partner?
It depends.
I buy
Nah,
a
hell
bag.
no. You said what?
I
Bad.
buy a bag.
A bag?
Hmm.
Hold on. Before we get into it, I just want, is it fair or is it foul, y'all? And then we'll get into what type of purchases.
I said it depends.
It's
It's
foul.
The
fair.
segment is called fair or foul, Negro, not fair, foul, or depends.
It depends, and it's fair.
Okay. All right. Where we going, Asia? What's your thoughts?
With your spouse, you said, like you're married. Let me see.
Partner. See, that's where y'all be getting out of it. Partner. Spouse to who it applies to.
Yeah, if it's a spouse, then I think it's foul.
Lewis.
I think it's fair.
Okay. Jay.
I think it's fair depending on what account it's coming out of.
Okay. I like where you going, brother. Brittany.
I think it's foul.
Hey, look, man. I got one that we can get into it all. As long as that shit don't come back to me, it's fair. Don't be asking me for nothing. Don't go buy whatever you gonna buy, and then be like, "Hey, like, let me." No, you better keep that receipt. Don't let it come back to me. You do whatever. Hey, look, this is how me and my wife operate. We got our joint, we got our separates. I don't ask what's over there. She don't ask what's over here. But if it starts slicing into that joint, let's talk.
Yeah.
Don't come back with that bag and then I see swiped on a card Chipotle. Oh.
Okay, wait. So to y'all, what is a big purchase then?
Yeah.
That's what I'm
is
saying.
a
It
big
depends on what's a
purchase?
big purchase.
A bag.
I mean, most big purchases.
A
Okay.
bag can be mad money.
I was about to say a bag. It depends on the bag.
Because
You
you're talking
know.
a Birkin?
Yeah. No, well, you know, you're gonna know if she got a Birkin. You gotta get on the wait list and all that. You know, you gonna know when that.
I was just saying how much
Hey,
money bags can cost.
Talk your talk.
I would say I would say 5,000 and under.
It's fair.
Yeah.
They about to get to argue, man. What?
Lewis, you agree with me? 5,000 and under?
Yeah.
I agree too, Princess. I said foul, but I agree too, because when I think of big purchase, I don't think of a bag. Like that, if I bought a bag, that's a big purchase. That's for me. That's probably coming out of my account and not our joint account. But when we're making a big purchase, I'm thinking like a car. That's a reoccurring payment that I might have to double dip in our account at some point. So anything that affects, to Keenan's point, anything that affects my partner, that's when it becomes foul.
I don't care. I don't care about the price. Just don't let it come back to me because I ain't
That's
doing
my point. Like if I could buy it, because I'm thinking about me too, right? Like, maybe something I want to go get. I ain't got time. But if I do it, I know I'm going to own whatever it is that I purchase.
That's my thing.
So I don't want to say that that's the case, and I think you and your partner need to have a very clear understanding of, ownership of the things that you are responsible for. So if you go out and buy a car, that's your car, right? It's going to be on your credit. Here's a caveat to that. If we want to do things together jointly, and you're not making your payments on time, then it impacts me.
Yeah.
Right. You need to understand how that impacts, our buying power in the event we want to do something later on. But, by the law, you're an adult, and if you can go get it, it's fair. It's up to you.
I guess my lifestyle, I just don't see me wanting something for $5,000 like that. I don't see myself wanting something that I'm like, oh, let me burn that just for something leisure for me. Like I think everything I want a probably get done under that.
But what if it's like a camera or something production wise or something? Some people would check with their spouse.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna be real with business. I think it's different when it's a asset, like when it's an income producing asset. Like if you buying something that's gonna make more money, you really ain't gonna hear nothing out of me. You know what I'm saying? But like when you burning some bread on some like, because that's fair, princess. Now that I think about all the equipment I got, right? But I also think me swiping that and it coming to the house, like what's all these boxes? There ain't no argument that after she see what all those boxes are for. You know what I'm saying? Because I just don't. I'm gonna be real. Investment, not talking like stocks and real estate and things of that nature. I will say I'm big on like we ain't just burning it for some like just to be burning it tight. Like that's just not my lifestyle. I just I'm never been that person. So nah.
Well, what if like let's just say you guys are struggling financially. Then what? It changes.
And you making big purchases without me?
Right.
That's stupid.
Y'all relationship just ended.
Yeah, that's foul.
I'm not a fan of really. I'm not a fan of bad decision making. I can't help it. Like I'm just not a fan of it. Like once you do something that unique in decision making, it's gonna be hard for me to trust you again. That it better make a lot of sense why you thought that we was struggling and you burning 5K on something. It's gonna be hard for me to internalize why you did that. And in my mind, the way I work, you're gonna do that again.
What if it's like a surprise trip?
If we struggling, the only trip we need to be making is to our job for overtime.
No, wait.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Hey, my bad.
What is okay? Like you are struggling, and I not struggling in a sense that there's different types of struggle, right? Like where our heads are above water, but barely type thing. And then there's like we're drowning, we can't afford nothing. But what if you're like right there at that limit? You see your spouse or your partner, they're not in a good mental space, so you burn 5K on a trip to just clear their mind, get their head, whatever. That's technically a big purchase. Is it still a foul thing to do?
Man, hell yeah, because why you got 5K to burn if we about to drown? And if you don't got it, that sound like debt. Hell no.
So wait, hold on.
Hey man, we go to the hotel right there.
I'm hearing everything y'all saying. When we say like without talking to your partner, right? Are y'all saying it from the perspective of like talking to get their approval, talking to be like, hey, I'm about to buy this, blah, 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 to inform them of what's about to happen? Like, what is the talking to that y'all are thinking about?
Either or. Asking or informing. Do you feel the need to do that?
Yeah, like in my head, like I'm just thinking, right? Like just me. If I'm about to buy a car, right? The only person I'm probably gonna tell in that moment, yo, I see this car, I'm about to get it. Even if it's not, and granted, I think a car is a very big purchase that I would be if it's a joint account, but that's neither here nor there. But for me, I would be communicating with my partner about anything that I buy, to be honest. Number one, because I'm either trying to show it off. I really want to know what they think about it. Do they want one to? For me, I'm just thinking like the talking to my partner. Yeah, I'm telling them just because why would I not tell them?
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. Princess kind of pulled my car. I ain't never thought about that one camera, screen, microphone, or nothing. So I can't talk.
And you just brought up a point, Asia, that I also had thought about. Like, I understand, Keenan, you was like, okay, she got her savings. She got her account, I got my account, and then we got the pot in the middle for the bills and what have you. What if you are a couple that is a one-pot household? Does that change whether it's fair or foul?
I'm going to say yes, because that immediately impacts me. Like it does. Like I think that's my thing. Because I'm gonna be honest, transparently speaking, I probably haven't, and I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing, but like I haven't asked my wife like what's over there in that in a decade. Like, because it's kind of like she's not irresponsible. So, but Princess, I think I would feel like it's foul then. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't
But what
swipe.
if the bills are paid and y'all not struggling? If we just choose to have one account and both paychecks going in both accounts, all the bills are paid, but I choose to go spend $5,000 on something and you see it come out of the account, the bills are paid. We good. We got stuff in. Like, why do I need to converse with you about that?
I'm gonna
Just
be
because
real
it's one account.
I'm gonna be real with you, Princess. That's a really good question. I think it's because I've never been in that situation. So to me, we both can't be sneaking and geeking out the same account. We fuck around, swipe on the same day, 10K missing instead of 5. Nah, like I don't like the way that feel. Like I've never been in that, but that will probably be uncomfortable for me.
We both can't be sneaking and geeking on the same day.
Yeah, like on the same account. That's crazy.
It's like that episode of Martin when he bought that TV.
Yeah, like no, we can't do that.
Hashitashi.
Yeah. You know what the interaction will be like when we both get home with the purchase and knowing we got the same account? Like, oh shit. Let me check that.
But I mean, people are adults. Like I think you're an adult. You can spend money however you choose. But if it's spending someone else's money, I think that's where it really you owe it to them to have a conversation.
Yeah, because do you look at it as in like, okay, well, whose paycheck contributed more to the joint account? Or do you really look at it as in like, this is our money, no matter how much you put in and how much, I put in, it's all ours? Or do you still be counting like, well, I put in this much this 2 weeks.
I try not to
use my whole paycheck.
Yeah, I don't like to project what my family does because different strokes for different folks. Some people really believe in that, I think
believe
that
in what you mean, like calculating how much
everything
I put in.
joint, yeah, like everything being worked, jointly together. But I think about this: when you look at marriage, it's two individuals becoming one. But marriage works best when those two individuals do have a bit of themselves, to grow and work on independently. And I think money, I think it in my experiences, it works best if that person still has their identity there as well, right? Financially. And I think there has to be some sense of identity financially so that you can go buy things, because as you work hard every day, and there are things that you should be able to go get without guilt, right? I do feel that way, right? There are things you should be able to go buy without having to explain to someone, why you decided to do that. Especially if you're working and tolerate the things you tolerate, you owe it to yourself sometimes.
Hey, Princess, may I? I was able to process. So I think with the difference of income in the same account, I think that's why I want the conversation, because I wouldn't care as much who spent what, but I would care to know the flow of the cash and the money. So I would want the conversation, because I will probably, like, typically in my experiences, women spend a little more than guys, right? So I just would want to know, like, what you want, because I will probably adapt to that because I'm less needy from that perspective. You know what I'm saying? But like, if your spending habits, if we're not making the same thing and your spending habits match my salary and not yours, I'm gonna have a problem with that. Like, that's not cool. Yeah, no, that's not cool.
That's what people want, though.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
I'm telling you the real. That's
you are, but it's like for me and my wife to be together as long as we are and build everything together, we still like, that's your hand, this is mine, and we got this. No,
but that's a sense of individuality, right? That's the point I was making. Like, you still have a sense of your own self to be able to do that.
And I'll prove this point, and then I'm gonna be quiet. Princess, when you was talking about those Beyonce tickets, I have no idea what they about to be, but I guarantee there's about to be a swipe. I don't need to see that. Yeah, I don't need to see that. Go and get your ticket.
Do you care how much she spends?
No.
Okay.
As long as what? That shit don't come back to me.
I'm just asking because some people would care.
Hey man, go to the meet and greet.
Even if it's just that's exactly what I was just about to get to. Even if that person chose to, like, oh, I want to be VIP. Some people, like, just because she values Beyonce don't mean that you value Beyonce. So some partners or spouses would have a problem with that. just because you want to buy a bag, I think is absolutely stupid to spend thousands on a bag. Or I think it's stupid, the jewelry that you buy, whatever. Like some people, because it's not their thing, they have an issue with their partner doing it.
Yeah. I can feel that. I'm just a believer in, like, if that's the way you invest in your happiness, I'm not gonna trip on that. Like,
I'm gonna tell her to get the pit though.
Huh?
I'm gonna tell her to take the pit out of the main account.
No. Nah, we ain't doing that. Nah. Yeah, Beyonce, I'll be right in the corner. 35, you want to sit in the front, you want to sit in the back. You want to get
You'll be a ticket scalper.
Hey, Lewis, I promise you, cash only. Hey, look, hey girl, you come out too. We both, you on this corner, I'm on that corner. Whoever get the most wins.
You said he gonna be scalping tickets. That's funny.
Hey, man, that's all we got for tonight, man. Appreciate y'all rocking with us, man, for the Monday Night Crew. It's your boy K. Mims. I got the ladies of the show, Miss Asia, Miss Brittany, and Miss Princess. My bro Louis B. I don't know what happened to DJ J Dub, but he was rocking with us tonight. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Make sure you subscribe to their page and hit that bell notification to get all content coming out. And we have a major announcement on the 9th. We are the Monday Night Crew, and we are out.
And we are out.
Because a man can have a great woman. I mean, she's doing nothing wrong, great woman, and the need to have other women will still override his want to be faithful to her. Yeah.
Not even that. It can just be a moment. Like I can be with my girl. Everything's good. Then we go to the club and then one girl walk across. I'm like, what? That's just how I go. Like, you just like
this is so discouraging.
This is so discouraging.
It is discouraging, but it's like it's the truth. It's the truth.
Not lying too,
it's the truth though. Like I'd rather tell y'all the truth of how men really think.
I've noticed women now are more ruthless with y'all now.
Hey man, I'm gonna start. My initial thoughts is like, he ain't speaking for all of us. First. Now,
get into it.
So this is my thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Be truthful now.
I am. I just gotta make sure I say this the right way.
You know what I'm saying?
There's some truth in what he's saying.
Okay, we getting.
However, it ain't like you just. Let me speak for myself. It's not like every time you walk around, you just, oh my God, this beauty, like, oh my God, nah, it's not like that. I feel like women go through the same thing. It's just frowned upon if they verbalize it. You know what I'm saying? The thing when he got to like, he was like, I hate to tell y'all it's the truth. And the girl was like, it's so discouraging. This is the thing. I just think we got to stop thinking that somebody you with is not going to ever be attracted to nobody else, or not ever going to see somebody that they like, or not ever going, you know what I mean? Now, how you communicate that, how you handle that is a whole nother ball game. You feel where I'm coming from? But like, I'm not gonna lie, bro. To say, I gotta say this very, very, very correctly. I think everybody in a relationship has to have a level of discipline in order to make the relationship continue to work. Like temptations are going to happen, decisions and bad. Like you got to make decisions in tough moments is going to happen. But like, bro, you don't look at every woman as a piece of meat.
No.
What's y'all thought?
I think you said it well. Like you got to have a level of discipline. There's no one person in this world that ain't gonna look at somebody and be like, "Oh, they look good," or "Oh, and have thoughts. It's how you act on them thoughts. So I think to a certain extent, he was speaking facts.
I don't agree. I don't agree with dudes doing all that saying it to your girl, bro. I'm sorry.
Saying what?
Him saying, like, obviously, men and women, we both do this. Like, you might see something. Ooh, okay, cool. Because, like you said, we're not put on this earth to be just attracted to one person. We all get that. We're all human. But at the same time, having that discipline is what keeps the relationship going for a long time. Right. What he was speaking on is like the same way that women are separate from men. Like, let's say they go on a girl trip, we go on a guy trip. Somebody walk by you. Whew, like you ain't. The problem comes in is when you start to act upon that. Issue comes in. Everybody can acknowledge whatever, but you have to have some level of discipline. And when you don't, that's where you have all these people out here just having different babies with different people and in these relationships because they're not disciplined enough to understand you are supposed to have these feelings, but you have to learn how to suppress those feelings. And because I think it's very disrespectful if you with your woman and you do that. Like,
bro, I'm not. Yeah, that's crazy, dog.
She gonna be like, bro, I'm telling
Jay,
you,
I hate that scenario, bro. I hate that.
Like,
no. I'm saying you're right, but what I'm saying is like I don't understand why. In my opinion, me and Dot argue this a million times.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get why I'm having that conversation with my lady, dog. I just don't.
You talking about verbalizing that someone's attractive?
In the video, he was like, first of all, he said I go to the club, my girl. Not the biggest fan of that.
Oh, damn, I missed that.
B, it's like we be in the club and look at John like, oh, like, and doing it in front of your girl or saying it to her, bringing it to her attention. That's just counterproductive to me. I don't care about people can get into the security conversation, cool, whatever. But like, that's stupid to me. Because look, if you think you saying all these things and she's not going to remember when the little turmoil hit, or you keep saying the same thing and create a type in her mind, if you don't think you're creating a bigger problem for yourself, I'm sorry, dog. You got the game messed up.
And if you don't if you don't think she at that bar getting y'all drinks, like, damn, homeboy smell good. That fade look nice.
Hey, Jay, he smell good. Is you too close? That's insane. Smell good is insane.
Same time, reality is that this is what I always tell people when people be out here doing this cheating, right? People be in a relationship cheating. I always tell them, hey, you better stop acting like you're the only attractive one in the situation. It's other people that want other people too, but people learn how to suppress feelings. So you can sit up here and do all that he was talking about, but I'm telling you, you got to be able to, you know what I'm saying, take what you can do.
Take it.
Yeah.
Boy, when that ball the court, it ain't fun, boy.
It ain't when the rabbit got the gun. Val said everyone has odds, but acting on it is what makes it disrespectful.
Yep.
DJ Marcus Sale said most men have dick discipline, in my opinion. I don't know about that one, bro. I don't know about that one. Yeah, hey, I usually agree with you. I don't know about that one, bro.
You said
I don't know if all guys got that type of discipline, brother.
Hey, boy, they out here making us look bad, Marcus. Boy, hi,
bro. Jay, let's be real, bro. If you give a guy 10 opportunities, how many of them you saying he taking?
Out of the 10?
Yeah.
Depends on if he had discipline or not. If he ain't never been around no women, he taking all 10.
Say he got say again, Jay.
Is he single?
Let's go both instances. A single dude, you get
no attention in life.
You know what?
He never got attention from women like this, right? That's where the discipline comes in. When you in familiar territory, it's not the same as somebody that's never been there. You just, a person that never been to the strip club walk in, they mind blown.
Yeah.
You done been, we been here before. It's cool.
I think the other way. I think that could work. I think it could work the other way. If you've been getting attention your whole life, 9 times out of 10, it done went to your head to where you think it's normal and you doing it all the time. I think it's when you've never been in the arena that you more cautious. Like when you ain't used to it and you get it, you're like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it bites you, sometimes it don't.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And like Jay, well, you can speak to that, Jay. Like never been in the arena. Go ahead, bro.
First of all, I lived in the arena my whole life. At Ocho Cinco, you know what I'm saying? But honestly, it's just really discipline is not hard to me, bro. When it comes to the other, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to say all that.
Hey, Dot. The lie detector the test determined.
Nah, bro. Like, I'm a horn dog, but I got discipline. You know what I'm saying? With I'm very strategic in my picking. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But does that discipline only matter when you? So what does that work in a relationship when you mad at her? You got that same discipline if she throwing it at you, y'all pissed off?
Yeah, it works because I'm committed. That's when my discipline kicks in.
No, I'm talking about with her.
You
mad at your girl?
Step out because we had an argument.
Y'all had an argument. She still but she throwing that thing. Did your anger, your discipline gonna hold up through that anger?
No, you got to take the anger out. You got to get the anger out. I thought you meant stepping out. Oh yeah, if we both angry, yeah, somebody got to go. The anger got to go somewhere.
Where it's going?
And discipline as far as some people do that though. You be arguing with your partner as soon as you leave the house, go somewhere. Then I'm like, bro, you've been going for 30 minutes. Y'all had an argument, bro. It's not that deep.
All right. Shapay, appreciate you tapping in. If you don't agree, if y'all don't agree with the convo with your partner when seeing someone attractive, I agree. Do y'all think a convo needs to be had when your partner's the one being hit on? I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I hate to be this guy, but like you, go ahead, Jay.
This ain't hit on in front of you.
That's what I was about to ask.
Clarify. Being hit on in front of you. I'm gonna be real, bro. Like, don't nobody want somebody ain't nobody looking at. You know what I mean?
Being hit on and being hit on in front of is different.
Yeah, like I mean, how though? I feel like
how is it different?
I feel like it got they say either way. I feel like, bro. I just think sometimes environment matters.
Yeah.
But so
I'm listening.
Let's use the scenario from earlier. Y'all done got upset. Y'all done got into it. You know what I'm saying? You mess around and go out, get a little alcohol in your system. That's when that fucking juice come into play. That's how people met, discipline or not. You emotional, you drinking. That's when you stay in the house, dog. Go downstairs, do what you gotta do, stay in the house. You don't do that. That's not when you I don't believe in when emotion is high, logic is low. I'm not gonna go out and go get under the influence and be out. Not saying I'm not disciplined through it. I just don't think that's a recipe for success. Saying that to say your partner go out and do that and they been hit on without you and they in their feelings about you already and they drinking and going on. All right, now.
Yeah. And to go back to what you were saying earlier, because I had a girl tell me that before, like she was talking to one of her homegirls or whatever, right? Did he lie?
I look like.
Okay. Anyway, Doc, he go back to his point. Don't nobody want nobody, don't nobody else want.
Facts.
Because boy, you know what I'm saying? You done see some females, they dude in DMs begging, boy. I'm talking about begging, Doc. You know what I'm saying? He left on red. He getting aired out. And she's saying, thinking like, boy, I'm saying you want me to come home and, you know what I'm saying? Like, cook you this and submit to you. Like, that's some wild stuff to be happening when your dude begging in DMs and getting like no responses. That's wild.
First of all, how you
that's wild.
How do you handle that? Obviously this have to be a woman answers, but how do you handle going through your others DMs and seeing no love?
We need to ask the females in here right now. That's a good one. Let's ask them right now, bro.
Did you hear that? You heard
Say it again. No, I didn't. Say it again, Doc.
How do you handle going into your man's, not you obviously, but your man's DMs and he trying, but he ain't getting no love?
Oh man.
Air.
Are you mad at him? Or is it?
But you coming home submitting, cooking meals, getting yelled at.
But don't nobody want him.
You know what I'm saying? Hey,
getting yelled at is crazy.
Oh my God.
All right, so Shapay said if it takes me having to go through his stuff, trust is already gone and we have a bigger problem.
Facts.
That's true. That's true.
Princess said I don't handle it because I don't go into my man DMs like but if you did and he was shooting them shots and get shot down, what you doing?
Let's speak in the hypotheticals real quick. Let's go into
let's hop in the hypothetical bag.
Yeah, we get it though.
So y'all must have been scarred before. Anybody been through no phones before?
I've been through a phone one time.
She gonna be still mad. She could but she gonna clown you for the consecutive missed shots. Val said facts, Shapay. Yeah. Hey, look, I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, so what if let's switch it up. What if you don't go through his phone, right? And the girl he talking to just tired of him keep reaching out. She screenshotted and sent it to you. Then what you do?
Okay, Jay.
Yeah.
Okay, Jay. I like where you going here, sir.
The phone.
I like what you do there, sir.
Yeah. What you do then? You just see just good morning, Queen.
Just message.
Good morning, Queen left on red is insane.
Hey, what you know what I'm saying? My man out here back.
Hey, Princess said it's the quickest way to lose weight if you want to try it. Be depressed as fuck. I'm not laughing at depression. Princess, you stupid, man. I'm not laughing at depression. She said it's the quickest way. That's insane, man. Hey, yo. Yo, that's insane, dog. That's insane.
Crazy.
but nah, I think discipline come in where you can't be sticking and moving like that, dog. You can't be doing that. Nah, I agree. Sharon Parks, I'm not into making myself. You know, we talked about this on one of the first two, like a last name loyalty episode of 1 and 2. This is the thing about when you start going into phones, right? Mm-hmm. The thing about when you go into phones, it's like you forget the trust is already gone. Mm-hmm. You might fuck around and find out what you're looking for, and that's worse than the trust. Because you can't come back from it for real. I don't think you could come back from it for real.
No. If you're going through the phone, it's done. If you have the urge to go through your partner's phone, it's done. Hang it up. The trust is gone, which I mean, without that.
Yeah. All right, fellas. Next up, man. So, hey, look. So let me say this disclaimer, right? Appreciate everybody tapping in again, man. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, man. Hope y'all enjoying the show. We really appreciate all the love, man. It really means a lot for the platform, for real. So this next conversation is about when's the best time to communicate. So we're gonna watch an extended part about how a woman may feel her point of view from a man, and then we'll respond about our thoughts.
Okay.
Leave it on the playground.
Yeah.
And when I bring something to your attention, it's not your time to bring it to mine.
Huh?
It's not. One thing I can't stand, if I'm telling you something about what's going on in our relationship, now is not the time for you to air it out. Because if you was beefing at that wedding, you stay beefing at that wedding. Why would you bring it to somebody else's club? Okay, no, you need to leave it right there. Leave it on the playground.
Yeah.
I'm talking to you about what I'm talking to you about. Now, if next week or next Tuesday or whatever the case may be, you want to say something, okay. I'm talking to you right now.
Right.
You're not talking to me.
Right.
And call it what you may. But I'm going to hear you out whenever you bring something to me, because I would like to think that I'm an approachable friend and I'm a friend who wants to hear you out. I mean, you know, right? I would like to say that. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to listen to you. But if I'm telling you something, now is not the time to air your grievances. It's not.
All right. What's your thoughts, fellas? She bring it to you. Don't bring it to her.
I'll take this one first.
Go ahead, brother.
I agree with her message, but I disagree with her delivery. Her message is very clear. And I think what she's saying to me, what I received from that was, whenever I'm bringing a problem to you at that moment, it's whoever you're talking to, it's their job to be an active listener at that moment. And I had to learn this even in, through our relationships, because naturally as men, we're problem solvers. So you come to me telling me something, the first thing I'm thinking about is a solution. I'm not trying to hear you out. I'm like, so you need this done, you need that done. It's like, but you're not listening. And in my mind, I'm like, I am listening. I'm fixing the problem. Mm-hmm. So I think the wait to next Tuesday thing was a bit aggressive to come holler at me. But I do get what she's saying. And I think it does bring room for somebody being an active listener. You calling me saying, hey, bro, I'm going through this. That's crazy, bro. Let me tell you what we going through. It's like, well, who has the space to get anything off this? Now we're just going back and forth and nobody's getting any type of help.
Yeah. Okay. Salute. Dot, what's your thoughts, Brody?
I took it a little differently. When she said, when I bring you this, it's not your time to bring me your grievances, right? Mm-hmm. I took that as her saying, hey, I got this problem. I guess I took it as with you, right? And you telling me you got this problem with me in response to it, right? And being that that's how I took it, I agree with what she's saying, because like you just said, Jay, you're not going to get much. Well, you could potentially not get to a resolution, right? However, if the problem you have with me is, if the problem that you're having with me is a result of something that I have a problem with you, that's going to be my answer. I don't know how to let you have that conversation or get it off your chest. You can get off your chest, but my response is still going to be what the issue is from me. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that could kind of go both ways, right? It could be I got to sit there and listen, like you said, you know, hear it out. It ain't my time. But if you're the problem,
yeah,
sorry. Gotta let you know.
Sorry.
my only thing is like, I think it gets choppy if what you're bringing to me is, and similar to what you said, if you're the problem, but like if we had a situation and we both kind of like skipped past it, for lack of a better term, and like we both did something, and then you bring it to me like we both ain't do something, it's gonna be hard for me not to communicate what's going on. As a guy, this don't always end well for me sometimes. You know, when I was young, I was very passive aggressive, bro. But I didn't like confrontation, so it came out, you know, as passive aggressiveness, right? Me, like me and my age now, I'm like, is this that deep? Like, how was days? Has she been having a long day? Where's her capacity at? Like, my emotional intelligence is there to kind of like look at, like, hold on, like, did that moment warrant that type of response? You know what I'm saying? Now, if I'm doing all that thinking and you firing off on me, and I'm sitting here making sure I'm sitting here considering what you've been through, and you firing off me, I ain't gonna lie. I try not to meet fire with fire, but like, I'm gonna consider your day. I'm gonna consider your week. Have you been working late at work all these times? Have you been busting your ass here and there? So maybe your capacity low. You feel me? Like, I pay attention to those things when it comes to my lady, but I'm gonna be honest. Don't let it be no mutual disagreement. You did something to me and I did something to you, and you tell me I can't talk. I'm gonna let you go first. I'm gonna hear you, but I'm gonna say whatever need to be said back on the back end. That's all I'm saying. All right, we got a couple of comments. I agree with her message, but the delivery is choppy because in the beginning I thought she was speaking about romantic relationship, but sounded like she was speaking on friendships. I took that she was maybe saying to her romantic partner, you should be that friend that can have that conversation. I could be wrong. When you got a problem, communicate that don't hold your cards and wait until a problem. When you got a problem, communicate that don't hold your cards and wait till I have a problem just so you can have something to throw back at me. Oh, I agree with that.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh
yeah. Don't. Yeah. That's how we gonna get it started again. We gonna get it popping again. Oh. Yeah. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I just think in communication, like, you got to have signals like, hey, we're gonna talk about that later. Like, I ain't that I'm gonna leave it go right now. I ain't gonna ruin the vibe tonight. We gonna talk about that though. You know what I'm saying? I just wish that when it comes to those experiences, that mutually we could create the same type of active listening situation. Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna get into all the accountability and and I'm not gonna get into that. I just feel like sometimes for guys that are being vocal, if that's not her experience, it's not always the best thing it's not always the best thing to encounter.
Right.
But don't be too vocal. Don't be too vocal.
You saying guys don't be too vocal?
That sounded bad, but yeah, that's what I meant. Like, be able to decipher what's an issue and what's a problem.
Right.
Like, don't be just out here spraying about everything. Like,
everything is not a problem.
Yeah. Like, you can't just be out here. I don't like that. Why you? Oh, wait. Chill, bro. Chill. I remember one time, man, when I was in school. Story time. Now I'm just like, hey, look. So one time one time, man, I was young. I was probably like 25, 26. And I was in the closet. That was crazy. I was at work, and me and my mentor classroom used to be connected by this like book closet. Man, me and my wife was into it. Huh?
That's where y'all met.
Who?
You and the mentor.
Go ahead, bro. So it was like, it was connected, bro. You could close both classroom doors. I'm back there. Yeah, you know when you in that argument where like it throw your day off where you got to argue about this.
Man, what?
Like I can't even go to work. I got to go in the bathroom and argue about this.
Come on, man.
So man, I'm going in. And he just said it like, hey, he was like, hey, bro, you sound like a bitch,
Yeah,
man.
I remember that conversation.
Yeah, I'm like, man, you sound like a bitch back there arguing and fussing. And what is you on, man? I'm like, what you mean? And he was basically saying, like, dog, if she's high, if her emotions is high, you don't go and match high emotions with high emotions. That's not what you do. Calm down, think about it, and then go have a conversation. I'm like, yeah, but at the time it was about pride and being right and trying to figure out everything else. But then I finally realized, like, oh, okay, like, now you ain't gonna be talking crazy now. But I finally realized, like, okay, cool. I'm not gonna be always matching you yelling and fussing, you and your feelings. Okay, cool, get through them, and then I'm gonna talk to you when I calm down. I'm not really confrontational, man.
Shout out to Mentor. He stayed with the gyms.
Facts.
That wasn't no gym, man. You sound like it pissed me off.
Hey, Steve, but now that you get it, what you was in that sounded like?
A bitch. Yeah. Like,
okay,
bro, because I'm gonna be real, bro. Even if she is your lady, I don't think it's good to like be going back and forth with your lady, man.
Nah,
like I'm not about to be fussing and fighting with you.
Huh? Yeah, I said, especially with men, when you say dumb shit like, shit, that's what we doing. I'm about to match energy. Why would you want to do that? Yeah, why would you sit here and she's sitting here on fucking 10?
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
This dude's out here saying that?
Yes.
Man, yeah, bro. Like,
yeah.
See, that's why I stay in my
walls. You match energy.
Hey, B-Dot, would you consider yourself to be confrontational?
I don't think I'm confrontational.
Hey, if y'all don't, that mean hell yeah. If you, my bad, what you consider yourself to be? That be hell yeah. Go ahead, bro. What you consider yourself to be? That be a nigga.
I don't know
everything.
I ain't gonna argue unless you want to argue, and I ain't talking about my lady. I'm talking about you because that's what you talking about.
What you mean?
Saying I always argue with you. I'm saying unless it's you.
I'm not even talking about me, sir.
Oh,
I need to talk about me, sir.
He's trying to be confrontational.
Look, but it's me.
Anyway, next. All right, man. So I read this thread, y'all, that kind of tapped in because we all been in the workplace and we have management skills and those things. So I'm gonna read off a couple things that the thread was about Gen Z in the workforce. Companies are becoming more and more dissatisfied with Gen Zers in the workforce. And they said they're firing them just months after being hired for the following things: lack of taking initiative, unprofessional behavior, frequent lateness, disorganization, and poor communication, and struggling with workload. Now, this is my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why do y'all think that for a generation that's more free mentally, they had way more stuff than we do? Why do y'all think it's such a struggle in the workforce? Because I don't feel like people value jobs the same way, right? Like everybody think they're supposed to be an entrepreneur. Everybody think they're supposed to be, $10 million in 2 days and all that stuff. But like for a entitled, I'm gonna say generation, tardiness to your job, poor communication. Have y'all had that experience with Gen Zers, or what's y'all experience with that?
Mm-hmm.
Every single day.
Dang, dog.
And it's crazy because every person, every technician that gets hired at my job, they spend their first 2 to 3 weeks with me.
I know that's why they hate it.
Possibly. But in that 3 weeks,
mm-hmm.
I give them everything you named on that list.
Mm-hmm.
I give them how to do that. Obviously, outside of being on time and stuff like that, like the communication piece, like we going over a lot of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lack of care.
Mm-hmm.
They don't treat work the same way as we did and generations before us did. They don't look at it the same. I'm here to go get some shoes, some clothes, video games, go on the trip, buy some bud.
Yeah.
They don't look at it the same way. And the ones that do, they stand out. It's really, really crazy to me because everything you listed off, I see every single day. I honestly, I like them as people. I don't like all of them as workers.
Yeah, man. I just
they
think
make it real hard.
I just think the way you handle it should be very much like soft skills aren't a thing, bro. I recently just shot something about that. Like soft skills aren't a thing anymore. And in this day and age, you separate yourself by the very small thing. You could not be good at your job and show up on time, be at every meeting you're supposed to be at, be where you're supposed to be, use the clock out system, clock in when you're supposed to, wear the uniform, like stuff like that stand out now. I honestly think that, but to the point you were making, bro, by the time they get to you at the job for training, it's too late.
Yeah.
Like those skills have already been there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's too hard. It's too hard to like, I ain't gonna say they can't change, but like, dog, if you tardy in the workforce that early, you probably been tardy to school all day. Nothing ever happened. Tardy to everything and no real consequence. I just hate that I shouldn't say we think. I hate the way we coddle so much now at the smaller stage and don't realize what months are you. Because I'm gonna be real, bro. Gen Z is 27 is Gen Z.
That's crazy.
They not babies, dog.
Yeah.
You too old for that.
Grown adults.
You too old for that. You too old for that, bro. And you too old for that. Chappelle said, I hate that it's low key true, but definitely not all us.
No, it's not.
Marcus Tell said Gen Z different, my boy. It is, my boy.
They are.
Rita said 100% agree. Appreciate you. Val, technology crippled Gen Z. They grew up having technology doing everything for them. I agree.
Very true.
They also have too many social media outlets, so they don't talk to people in real life anymore. If you're out in public, they're on their phone, scrolling, recording, taking pictures instead of interacting. Wholeheartedly agree with everything, and they're desensitized now. Like they're desensitized to a lot of what happens in reality because their world happens in technology. Now, I do know a couple Gen Zers that's on it that do the right things. You know what I mean? That's very valuable. That really helps in the workspace. I think the way school and education, because they spend a lot of time in there, like, bro, when we was in school, 3 tardies equated to an absence. Like, dog, you couldn't be tardy 3 times. So I don't know if y'all experienced that, but that little phone used to call your house and leave that message like, your son, such and such, was late to class. Like, now you can be tardy as many times as you want and nothing comes from it. Gen Z, man. I think our kids would be different.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts though, Jay? I ain't hear you say much about Gen Z.
I mean, it's pretty simple for me. I think it's just like everything else with the workforce, relationships, everything. It's too many options. People feel like they just have too many options now. So the fear of, like, let's say back in the day, a person maybe couldn't read, probably didn't have a GED, so they're working at the mill and they learned the skill set, right? So they were more fearful of losing that job because it was going to be harder to get another job. It was some fear there. There's no fear with Gen Zs, right? It's like, oh, okay, it's cool. I'll get another job. If not, I mean, hey, man, they said I can make 10,000 in 2 days. Be real,
man.
And scamming.
Yeah.
So people really don't care. They be like, oh, I just start scamming. So it's no real fear anywhere.
Hey, it's so crazy.
I'm being real though. I talk to
you are. You are.
Bro, like, oh yeah, it's cool, bro. I just start scamming. I'm like, what? You not going to work? Nah, I got a headache. A headache.
Hey, look, we were just risking it. The only scamming we was doing was LimeWire and FrostWire.
Man, what?
Burning CDs.
Sell them CDs and DVDs, boy.
Nah,
tearing the computers up.
Hey, Jay, what was you downloading on LimeWire?
Next question.
Hey, well, hey, look. Then when LimeWire got hot, you go to FrostWire. What was you download on FrostWire?
The same shit I would download on LimeWire.
Yeah, right. Hey, look, you knew you had a bad video when your computer was about to blow up. When you start downloading, you're like,
How many times that happened to you?
bro. Hey, look, had that dial up going slow. Hey, look, tearing that computer up, bro.
Hey, chill, man. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it, though. It's just too many.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so we got one more video, y'all, and we about to be up out of here. We got one video on expectations. So I'm gonna show a video. A woman kind of explain what it's like and how AOL for sure. What it's like to communicate and what expectations should look like. So we're gonna play the video, and then we'll give our thoughts.
We set expectations for the relationship. Before we even got engaged, we set expectations for the relationship. Then we got engaged, we set expectations for the engagement, and then we did the same thing for marriage. And we actually he typed out everything. Okay. So we knew the roles, responsibilities, we knew what to expect. We knew, okay, if you're triggered, this is what needs to happen. So that there's no confusion, so that he can never say, well, you never told me that. And I can never say, well, you never told me that. So it's clear and concise. And I feel like when that's the case in anything, there's peace. Yeah. So we created immediate peace. And I'm not saying that our relationship is perfect, but we rarely ever argue. Right. Because we know how to diffuse any conflict, to be honest.
Our last argument was over.
Fellas, expectation. Talk about it all before you get up in there.
I think it's smart. I wish I had somebody tell me that in the beginning. I didn't think about that. It was a day-by-day thing. Now, I don't know about writing it down, but I think a good conversation about what you expect in this stage of your relationship, what you expect in that stage of your relationship, I think that is healthy. And then when it changes, another conversation, because people change. People's needs changes. People's needs change.
Thank you. Hey, we listen and we don't judge, bro. All right, so hey, but this is my thing, bro. I'm gonna be real. And I'm not trying to just be defiant here. I disagree with the order. She was like, we got together, then set the expectations. We got engaged, then set the expectations. Got married, then set the expectations. Huh? No, I'm just saying, in my opinion, I'm I don't disagree with having expectations. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a fan of you can't control everything in a relationship. Expectations should be broad enough to fit within your realm and scope of how you handle things. But to go as far as saying, when I'm triggered, do this. Every trigger ain't the same, and you don't know all your triggers at all times. I think if it's something like, hey, I don't like to talk when I'm mad. So if I get upset, give me some time. To go as far as what I'm gonna get mad over, how I'm gonna maneuver around that. I think sometimes we try to control every aspect of human nature, and that's not realistic to what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? You can't control humans. We change every day. I do like the expectation conversation. I don't care for get in the relationship, then talk, get engaged, then talk, get married, then talk. I don't think that's conducive. And let's be real, bro. Jokers be lying, man. Jokers be lying. And half the people don't even know that stuff about themselves.
More in real time.
Yeah. What about you, Jay? What's your thoughts, brother?
Two things that I got, especially from what you just said. The first thing was, what I took from the video is I'm thinking that they're two healthy individuals, right? That have done the work, went to therapy, understanding their triggers, understanding and you're right, you're not going to understand every trigger or everything that triggers you, because new people bring out different things inside of you. So know those things. But if you've done the work and say, okay, I know this is a big trigger for me, you can communicate those things. I do agree with the order that she said it in. When she said we got together and then set the expectation, we got engaged and set it, because number one, you've never been in that scenario. So you setting expectations for an engagement, you ain't been engaged before. You have to get with that person and say, hey, okay, now that we're together, we've got engaged now, right? What does that look like for both of us? What is the expectation for you've never been engaged? I've never been engaged, right? What are you looking for from your partner in this engagement to move throughout this engagement? Now we got married. Okay, cool. We're married now. Let's set the boundaries. What are your expectations from a husband or a wife okay, what are your triggers? So I agree with her order. I think it worked out fine for me. I don't disagree with that at all.
Hey Jay, do you believe two people always got to be healthy in order to get in a relationship? And let me elaborate a little bit more. I heard you say earlier about like, even when we talking about the parenting situation, you're like, that's a healthy situation. And then you like, when two people are healthy, do you feel like you got to be all the way healthy, all the way completely healed, quote unquote, so to speak, in order to get in a relationship and establish those? Or you just got to be to a certain point? What do you think about that?
You have to get to a certain point. You have to be willing to keep doing the work. Healing is a everlasting journey. Like, this is a lifelong journey. You find out different stuff about yourself every single day. So you're never going to wake up one day and be completely healed. But you have to be to a certain level to understand what a person is trying to communicate to you in a healthy way. So when I say that, I'm not saying you got to be 100% healed and healthy, but you have to be, to a certain extent, at a place to where you can comprehend what I'm saying without taking offense. Vice versa, you're saying something to me without me taking offense. There has to be some level of consciousness, some level of healing for you to, or healthiness for us to even have that conversation. If not, then it's no point. It's going to look more attack than it is as advice.
Yeah, for sure. I don't disagree, brother. I just hate this notion. I don't disagree, Jay, but I just hate this notion that, you know, we're complete when we walk into things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be at a certain level, but like, bro, like, everybody ain't complete, dog. Like, people go through stuff. Everybody's not in their best form yet. You know what I mean? Because when it comes off like that, it like eliminates some people bring the best out of others, or you get with somebody and they brought the best out of you. Like, sometimes you weren't in a good place. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying trauma bond, but what I am saying is like, everybody ain't always in a good place all the time.
That's true.
That ain't fair to do that all the time. You know what I'm saying? I do believe it's an active process. I do believe you got to make sure that you acknowledge where you at and figure out what it looks like. But like, expectations are only like guiding marks. You can't really control everything somebody does just because my expectation is this, my expectation is that.
That's very true.
Okay. Hold on, we got a couple of comments. DJ Marcus said healthy is subjective. AF. Please tell me how it's subjective, bro. As healthy as I am or better. Okay. What's one of the big expectations that y'all had when y'all were single and dating? Damn, that was a good question. Hey man, just don't be lying, bro. I could probably deal with everything else. Like, just don't be lying. Like, shoot me straight. Like, and I told this story before. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I first met my wife, she was talking to somebody. She told me straight up. She was the first one about, oh nah, like, I don't talk to more than one person at a time. But I'm talking to such and such. So like, we could be cool, but I'm not really entertaining nothing else. To me, if you ain't a liar, I could work through everything else. Like, I ain't tripping. Like, no, bro, just don't be lying, dog. Don't be lying. Don't be lying. Exactly. I could deal with the truth. And this is the thing about the Gen Z thing too, earlier, real quick, to hop into that. Kids and young people, most people can handle the truth if you let them.
Yeah.
Like, everybody ain't gonna just run from it. Like, tell people the truth. Allow them they process, but like, they can handle it if you let them. But you got to start young, dog. You got to start young. What about y'all? What was y'all big expectations?
Loyalty, man. My first 2 relationships, I learned that, you know, people ain't loyal as I am anyway. And
what you learned?
Loyalty. I already knew where you was going with that. Yeah. But loyalty, man. That's the first thing I'm looking for.
Okay. Jay, what about you, bro?
Thank you, Kendrick Lamar. For me, it's the same thing. It's the line. Just be upfront, honest. I mean, I understand now, like, because, you know, I was married. So before that, like, the single date and stuff, like, it's different now because it's like, when I first started on the dating scene, I ain't gonna lie, bro, I was lying. I wasn't telling no type of truth at all. I was talking to 2-3 Jones at a time. You the only one.
Was they talking back to you?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. But You know what I'm saying? But then I got to a point where I grew up, and then I realized that number one, that's very, very immature. And number two, like you said, people can handle the truth. And I wouldn't want somebody lying to me. So why would I want to do that to somebody else? Give them an opportunity to make a real choice. I wasn't doing it. That's not fair. So once I grew up, it's like the line that's like, I can't tolerate that now. Just be truthful. You talking to somebody else? Okay, cool.
For sure. DJ Marcus Hill, people's level of what they call healthy. Some people have lower levels, so she came half of the way. She is healthy even if she's still dead as toxic as hell. Okay. Chappé said, were you reciprocating your bit? Oh yeah, I ain't lie. And I mean, I ain't tell everything, but I ain't lie to you though. You got certain stuff you had to ask me to get it out of me. Like I ain't just sharing everything. You know what I'm saying?
Just volunteering information.
Yeah, no, hey, Jay, you got a comment though. Rita said, DJ, she meant J Dub speaking the truth. He only doing that tonight. He usually ain't on what he on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the truth. Okay.
So hey Doc, let me ask you back to Chappé's question. In those experiences, was it because you were being loyal it bothered you, or do you feel like even if you were being if you weren't being loyal, their lack of loyalty wouldn't have bothered you as much? Like if you was doing you and they were doing them, would you look at it the same way? Or was it because you were being loyal?
That's a good question.
I'm going to say because I was being loyal. I don't know how I would have looked at it, and I wasn't that person back then. Like I'm not that person now, but like I wasn't that person.
Glad you cleared that up, my boy.
It sounded real bad, but like to be doing me over here in a relationship over here, I'm not that person anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I would have been cool with it. I doubt it.
Yeah. For sure.
As bad as that sound.
No, I think.
Oh, go ahead, Jay.
No, I think it's some truth to that though. I think people, if you cool with something, you don't really care if the other person is really like. Let's say, for example, like, oh well, I don't mind you going out, right? Because I like going out, so I'm not really gonna bring up the you going out thing because at the end of the day, I like going out. So why would I
like
do
it too?
You know what I'm saying? So it's taken away from me. But
I don't believe that, Jay. Not from you. I'm saying, like, I don't believe dudes are like that.
Cool with that girl going out just because they go out?
Yeah,
not necessarily going out specifically. I'm just saying, like, I'm doing it so you could do it.
No, not with everything. I don't believe that with everything.
No, I'm just saying in general. Like, I feel like most in the single youthful world, like I think most dudes want have their cake and eat it too. You know what I'm saying? See me, I fuck around, fall in love with you. That's why I ain't had too many. I ain't had too many guys. I've been around. Kids, if I liked you and you kissed me twice, you my girl for real in my head. I ain't lying. Like, hey, I'm rocking with you until it's time to rock with the next. Like, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna be real. I ain't never had to really worry about being in somebody else's rotation. I don't feel like personally I move like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I also didn't talk to people I ain't like. Like that wasn't me. I never did that.
Okay.
You didn't like relationship wise.
Like, I'm not saying every person I talked to I wanted to be in a relationship with, but like I was attracted to you and liked you. So like in that moment in time, I didn't mind spending my spare time with you or what time I had. Every person I like, I wasn't trying to be in a relationship with. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that like, oh, she cool. We just chilling. That was never me. Not in a good way, bad way. It just was never me.
Yeah. Another thing too, Dot, to add back to what you were saying, I know we're talking about the loyalty, but it had me thinking about relationship stuff, right? And a lot of times, I know I dealt with this too in some of my relationships, as far as like a reciprocity feeling, right? And I think that we have to understand what people are, and you have to find a companion that's on your level. Yeah, I think because like, let's say if you feel like you're overly giving, like you're just, it may not just be the loyalty thing. It could be like you're a gift giver, or you pay attention to detail, and you want those same things in return. We had to understand that some people capacity is not that high. They're giving you that. You know what I mean? And I think that sometimes we damage a lot of people like that because it makes them feel less than, instead of us just finding a person that's on our level. You know,
hey Jay, talk that talk tonight, boy.
No, I'm just being real, bro. It made me think about that when he said that. That was a good point, man.
Yeah, talk that talk, my boy.
Hey, man. Dr. Umar, man.
She says lying blatantly and withholding is low key the same thing. Chappelle, you about to get banned. Do you have any expectations that will qualify as double standards, or I can do that? But nah, you ask too many good questions, dog. Nah, I actually hate that about dudes, though. We do that a lot, but I actually hate that. I ain't had none of that.
What's that?
Did y'all have a double standard? She was asking, do you have a double standard, like something you could do that they couldn't?
Something I could do that they couldn't.
Nah.
I don't think off the top of my head.
Nah.
I'm gonna tell you this though. If that pattern of picking up the phone changed, we done when I was younger. You gonna cancel that straight up. I ain't about to fake.
How many times she got to not answer the phone when you call?
No, it ain't about not answering the phone. If you've always not answered the phone, I'm not gonna look at it like that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, like you said, what, Jay?
You saying like if the pattern switch up on you?
Yeah, like we was cool. You'll text me, but like I'll be real story, bro. No lie. Like so, when I was dating my wife, right? Like before we was even like anything, we were just cool and we'd be texting. You know, back then, that's when texting got super hot. You we texting late at night, and I would like the conversation get good, and she'll just stop texting. So I'm like, okay, it's back when the joke almost scared to double text. You feel me? Double text that joke. They can't say that back. And this ain't got read receipts, none of that. You don't know.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying? So I like the next day, she'd be like, oh, good morning, my bad. I fell asleep.
Man.
But this the thing though. It was always like that.
Yeah.
That was a little move that I found out later that she was like, oh, lead the mind up the one. He's getting too good. Let me let him chill. What I'm saying is, say we was texting through the night all the time, and then around 11:30 on Wednesday, every time you ain't texting back.
Yeah, you keep falling asleep.
Yeah, you understand me?
On Wednesday.
Yeah, nah, we done. Hey, look, this before all the boundary talk. This before all the I'm good.
Yeah,
I ain't no dummy.
Hey, that good morning, I just fell asleep in some diabolical work.
Why you say, damn, bro? Why you put that on me?
Yeah, because cheeks was getting clapped. Boy.
Nah.
Nah.
Hey, Jay, look, Jay, I mess around with her, went upstairs in the dorm.
No, not her. I'm just saying, like in scenarios, boy. I'm telling you that my bad.
That's insane, bro.
It's a wild world out here, boy. It's a wicked
wild.
I'm not doing that. So man, what's y'all final thoughts on the expectations, man? Every step come with something. Hey, let me ask this.
Okay.
What is different about relationships and engagement? You in a relationship, then you go and get engaged. What expectation would change? What can or can't do in a relationship that you can or can't do now that you're engaged?
I'll go. I think the title just changed. I mean, if you're in a committed relationship, you were already doing those things. So I think it's just a next level of commitment, showing the appreciation of you're trying to go to that next level. I don't think anything changes if you're in a committed relationship and y'all got engaged. You still doing the same thing you were doing. For me, I don't see it there other than the title.
For the engagement, probably nothing. From girlfriend to boyfriend, husband and wife, there's probably changes there.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially if you weren't living together already.
And that can happen during the engagement period.
True.
Okay.
Y'all weren't living.
But like, okay.
I'm gonna be real, bro. I feel like don't much. If you really like somebody, you really locked in with them. I don't feel like much changes. I feel like you move. I feel like people that really like each other, that's really vibing, move like they married anyway. Like I feel like you don't even do that stuff anyway. Like when you like, bro, all of us was acting married when we was dating. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we was young and didn't know no better. But like now, if I meet somebody and I'm locked in with them, the way I move about you ain't gonna change too much.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be kind of similar to like what it was when we was in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to be very.
You said similar.
I mean, because the title changes is the difference is why I can't say the same. Like the way I'm moving is like Like you ain't gonna be cheating on your girlfriend and all of a sudden stop cheating on your fiance. Like that ain't about to happen. Nah.
Gonna get a fiance and then get a new girl and cheat on both of them.
Chappelle, that's a good point. She said, he said, well, let me go to Marcus L first. Y'all know people living together before they engaged. This ain't the 1900s. Facts. I was, bro. But this a thing though. When I moved in, I knew I was gonna marry her. I wouldn't have moved if I don't see no future with you. I ain't moving in with you, dog. I'm gonna be straight up with you.
Yeah.
Like if I'm moving in without engagement, I know that's where it's going.
That is true though, but it's like, you're not just moving in with anybody.
Nah. Maybe from a financial standpoint, there might be slight changes. I ain't putting my name. I say, I ain't putting my name on it until I know I want to marry you.
Yeah.
I ain't doing that. What about y'all? What about does the bread move differently?
Like as far as what you paying, like as far as bills and stuff like that, or in the crossover to engagement.
Yeah.
No.
Probably nothing's gonna change there. I mean, it's probably already happening. You probably already taking care of bills, like Marcus L said. You probably already living together.
Yeah.
I'm not. Unless something significantly changes, if y'all already going 50-50, probably when you get married, you going 50-50. Or if you paying all the bills, when you get married, you probably gonna be paying all the bills.
Yeah.
What's y'all thoughts on your job upgrade? You start making more money. Do you pay more or do you keep it at 50-50?
No. Hold on. So you saying like either her money increases and yours doesn't, or
either way?
Either way.
Does the person who makes more pay more, or do y'all keep it at 50-50 and the person that make more got extra money?
That depends, because if my wife is making more than me, like I'm in a drastic.
Yeah, Jay, if your wife making more than you, she ain't the one that's the wife.
No, I don't believe that. I think, and the only reason why I say that, because I used to think like that. You know that, boy. That pride.
Hey, I'm just playing, bro. I'm just playing, bro.
But for real, I used to think like that, but then I think it's more so. It's not about her making more money. It's about her making sure that it's about me making sure that I can maintain my cost of living and the bills and make sure that I can live within my means. Is what she's more excited about.
Versus and making sure you cook, you clean.
Nah, I don't. Yeah, if you the right one, nah. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
But
put your apron on.
Nah, put the apron on, but it ain't because of no bills.
Hey, come on, man.
Yeah,
sick man. This is sick, man. Come on, man. She'll like Jay. Hey, man, y'all too old to be playing hide to go seek, man. Ain't nobody playing hide to go seek. She ain't trying to look for it. Hey, Jay. Hey, Jay, you put that apron on. She be like, damn, come on, man. Ain't nobody trying to play no more. Like, come on, man.
All right, I'm gonna be up in that crib like Melvin. In that,
all right, bro.
Yeah, my African squad.
Next level, you took it there.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I did. Hey, this is our last comment for the night. So substantially more, it changes stuff. But if not, a lot. If not, a lot of y'all going to be the same on Monday as last Friday. Did I read that right? If it's not, a lot of y'all, I misread something.
Y'all gonna be on Monday as last Friday.
I get what he's saying, but I missed it's a word missing somewhere in there. Hey, I mean, bro, we straight. I believe in taking care of the house. That's just how I am personally. Like,
did you?
I don't mind, huh?
I don't think you answered. Not to cut you off. Do you feel like if she make more, she should pay more?
I think I'm not a believer in 50-50. I'm a believer in where you at. So I'm gonna get that off the books.
Okay.
I'm gonna be real with you, bro. If she make more and y'all locked in, she ain't gonna care about paying for more of something. It may not be bills, but she'll probably be comfortable paying for more of something. You know what I'm saying?
Could y'all be stay-at-home dads?
Hold on. I'm gonna be real with you.
I'm about to say, you know, he did this multiple times.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. Like, if the kid's in school, definitely. You won't have to worry about nothing.
Nothing.
And I bet you that time while they in school, I'm gonna be working full time on y'all know what. We ain't even gotta go there.
Yeah.
You understand me?
I ain't just gonna be at home doing nothing. I'm gonna be at home. Ain't be doing nothing.
Hey, Chappelle, I'm not putting that up there. You insane for that. Hey, but look, y'all, appreciate everybody tapping in with us tonight, man. We hope y'all enjoyed the show. Please hit that like button for this video. It helps us with the algorithm. Also, subscribe to the page. Hit that bell notification so you get all content coming to the platform, whether it be the Kickback by MVW, Monday Night Crew, Last Name Loyalty, or Traffic Jam, or any other content that we got coming out. Appreciate y'all tapping in. It's your boy K. Mims. I got my brothers from Last Name Loyalty, B. DJ J Dub. What's happening?
What's happening?
We are out. Let me find it. Fellas, your lady pissed off. Mm-hmm. You did it. She did it. You don't see eye to eye. You get the silent treatment.
Okay.
How we moving through that? You get the, hey, bro, you don't even exist, and we sitting on the couch together. How do you work through that communication wise?
I pissed her off, right?
We'll start with that scenario. Go ahead, Doc.
I pissed her off. She giving me the silent treatment.
Mm-hmm. Let's start with that. Yeah.
Let her have her space.
Doc going to hoop.
Yeah, like I'm gonna let her have her space. If you don't want to talk, me trying to make you talk gonna make it worse. We ain't gonna do nothing but argue.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna be mad.
How long is that grace period?
We can't go to bed without saying something. Even if it's,
give her space.
I did give her space, but like I don't want to take it into the next day. I'm not saying we gotta have the full conversation. We ain't gotta hash it out, but like you gotta give me something before we go into the next day. Hey, I'm still feeling away. Let me have until tomorrow to talk about it. We can talk about it tomorrow. All right, cool. I give you a little bit more time.
Tomorrow, wake up and like, I'm off that. I don't want to talk about it.
Oh no, we talking about it now. You're not about to just drop it. Like we're not about to just drop it like nothing happened though. Mm-hmm. You just ignore me for a whole 24 hours. Nah, we're not doing that. You gonna have to give me something. We gotta talk about something.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Go ahead, Jay. What you think, Brody?
I'm growing and changing. The old me, shit, you give me the silent treatment. I'm stubborn. Shit, we're gonna be solid together. We solid night.
I'm gonna leave you alone.
We can go for 2 weeks or 6 months. It don't matter to me. Shit, whoever want to talk. But the new me now, I'm realizing a lot of different things. And I'll tell you one thing. No matter who did it, right? No matter who started the argument, I think a conversation needs to be had no matter what. That's number one. And number two, me growing as an adult, growing as a human, I think that the bigger picture is that as a man, I have to understand I have to stay in my masculine frame. It's not about, first of all, if you silence to me and I'm matching your energy, then I'm just doing some female stuff. Like I'm on some wild shit like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. That's not cool. I have to give them the space to be like, okay, you know what? We had this conversation. You don't want to talk about it now. But whenever you're ready to communicate about it, I'm ready to talk. But number two, this is a big one for you. Hey, look, I got to look at the camera. This is a big one for y'all out there, male or female. You got to take accountability and understand maybe the reason why that person, your partner, don't want to talk to you is because you haven't created a safe space for them. You maybe are not ready to receive what they have to say to you. Mm-hmm. Because I ain't going to lie to you. As men, we all men up here. A lot of us have fragile egos. So a lot of women have to sit here and think harder about what they got to say to us because it's like, I don't want to say this, woo-de-woo, because this might crush this person this way. I'm not justifying nothing, but I'm just being real. So in my experiences, speaking for me, I had to understand, number one, am I creating a safe space for this woman to communicate with me? And number two, am I also staying in my masculine frame and say, hey, whenever you're ready, I'm not here to match your energy. I'm ready to have a conversation. Because I used to be doing some childish stuff of like, oh shit, you ain't talking, I ain't talking. That's not cool though.
Mm-hmm. I respect that, bro. It's just 2025, so I'm gonna just, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm gonna say what I'll do, and then I got something about the safe space, and I got something about what Dot said. I think if it's my fault, like I will absolutely give the space. You know what I'm saying? But like, I asked the question up front. After this said time, are we coming back to it? Is it supposed to be over with? So tell me now, are you processing to be over with, or are you processing to come back and have a conversation? Secondly,
Okay.
I hate to say this, bro, and I ain't trying to sound crazy, but like that safe space stuff be oversold sometimes. Because I'm gonna be real, bro. I feel like that shit can get manipulated quick. Like I feel like people use that and like try to like, oh no, the space that hey, look, I get all that. But like if I'm secure in my communication and I don't have any ill intent, say the space isn't there yet, I still owe it to you to say, hey, how I'm feeling. Because people can sit there and keep saying that, and like, oh, the space. I'm not saying it's not safe or it is. I'm not getting into that. But what I'm saying is, hey, look, I got something I need to tell you. We done had our cool down. If you just want to sit and be all ears, feel free. If every time we talk, it blasts into an argument, we can't never get from point A to point B. We got a bigger problem for real, bro. I just feel like as adults, dog, we can't keep doing this. Like I'm not like we too old for this. 20, 25, 26, 29, 30. Okay, cool, bro. We about to be 35, bro. We not on that. We can't say how we feel. Agree to disagree and move on. Nah.
Yeah, you can, but what I'm realizing as I've gotten older is saying what you feel. It's not about intent, because I used to be big on intent, because it's like if I'm coming to you having a conversation, my intentions are pure. How you receive it, one, and my tone play a big part in that though. So you could be very fluent in what you're saying, but if I come to you, hey, you was on the and then coming off of you, gonna be like, hey, yo, chill. Even though my intentions are good, I'm still rah-rah. But yes, you're right. 35 plus, you should be able to understand all that stuff. Don't. So I think we have to look at the bigger picture.
Did you lose? I lost him. Did you lose him?
Yeah, I did too.
Go ahead. But what's your thought, Doc, when he come back? I'm gonna be real, bro. I don't mean to sound like that guy, but like, nah, I'm not going like that, bro.
So you're not going like what, the safe space part or the whole.
Hey, my bad. Hold on, Doc. My bad, Jay. It cut out, so you froze. So I didn't want to leave you in there frozen. You say you gotta look at the bigger picture.
I say you gotta look at the bigger picture and understand that it doesn't. Your intent could be 100% at that point, but how a person receives it and your tone matters. It don't matter the age. It just matters of like, that's what causes arguments. That's what causes long-term resentment, because it's not about you. You can have the best intentions, but if that person don't receive it, and it's not your job for them to receive it that way, but you got to be real. People have different life experiences growing up. So they may have childhood traumas that they're still dealing with, that they're not able to receive it a certain type of way. So you just going to keep saying like, oh shit, well, I don't give a fuck because I know my intentions was good. Yeah, you ain't gonna
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. This is gonna be unpopular, but
okay.
Safe space, right? Bro, if I'm with you and we've been locked in and I know all those things, and you can't trust me enough where we can have a conversation, and let's be real, people argue, that happens. I'm not even saying everything is like, hey, how are you feeling? Oh, okay, no. But this is my thing. If I've been with you and you still, and I get traumas and triggers still happen, but if you're not actively working to get that taken care of to where we can have a conversation, you not gonna keep using that is why we're not talking.
Okay.
If I don't see you working on that, or we're not in a space where I see you trying to progress towards said thing, I'm not gonna keep allowing that to be the barrier between why we can't talk.
Okay.
I respect the trigger. I respect your traumas. I respect what you've been through. But if we've been together in a relationship, hey, we should have we know this about each other. So I'm gonna communicate in a way that's not triggering for you. You know what I'm saying? Tones get messed up sometimes. I got to work on that. I'm gonna be real about that part. But at the very end of the day, like, you're not gonna use that every time just because I got to tell you how I feel. It's uncomfortable. It's okay. It's uncomfortable. Sometimes telling somebody you love how you feel, and it may be tough for them to hear. It's uncomfortable. It's all right though. Because if I really rock with you, I'm telling you this to fix it. I'm not telling you this to argue. And we may argue on the way to fixing it, but shit, it is what it is.
Yeah, like I agree with the tone thing, Jay. And safe space, I I'm working on it. I'm actively working on it, right?
Asshole.
But if we if we supposed to be locked in, you know me, you know my intentions are pure. Sometimes you can look past the tone. You should be able to look past the tone and hear the words that are coming out. Know that my intentions are pure. Know that what I'm saying, I'm trying to get to a different level. I'm trying to get us to a peaceful place. So using, your tone is messed up. Sometimes I get it, but that can't be every time.
No, hell no.
Right.
It can't be every time.
Hey, Doc, that's wild to ask her to listen through the tone, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was insane. But I'm gonna.
People. I mean, in an argument, if you arguing, your emotions come out in that argument.
Oh, that's different. That's different. Okay. In that context, yeah.
Like you should know. He was saying like look past the tone. If you're in an argument, like you should know. I'm a piggyback off that. That's very true, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything you said. The thing though is like when you're dealing with different people, you're maturing. You have to understand this. Intent is everything. We all, as men, women, everybody, we always say, I've been dealing with this person. They should know me. We get that, right? They do know us. They get it. But we can't take away from what they're feeling in that real moment.
I get that.
So knowing you, because we don't all have this conversation. And all of us done brought up like, nah, bro. Like, man, you know me. You know I wouldn't do nothing like that. Whoop-de-whoop. It don't matter.
Yeah. I get what you said, Jay.
Yeah, I bet you. Yeah, you always be like, yeah, I don't give a fuck about none of that. And I'll be like, all right.
No, bro, that be you. That be you, bro. That be you.
Whatever. So we about to go on to the last name. All right, cut your ass out. But look, what we saying is, so in those moments, we can always say like, yeah, you know me. But we can't take away from the way a person feels in that moment. And I think that's what gets, misconstrued because it's like, yeah, we do know you. Steve, we know y'all got a heart of gold, bro. All three of us. Heart of gold.
Yeah, but are you saying when we talking to each other, talking like us?
Talking to your spouse. Y'all spouses know y'all got a heart of gold. But in those moments, you think they thinking about that or they thinking about your tone that you're delivering at that moment?
I'm not answering that. That was a good question, Jay. That was a good question, but I'm not answering it. Brittany said, look past the tone. She said, I'm not looking past nobody tone. I will politely ask you tone it down. Damn.
And hey, for real, that's fine. You could tell me that if you tell me that in real time, like, my tone is messed up or whatever, I might feel a way, but I think somebody's more likely to adjust their tone in the moment if you tell them, hey, look, you talking to me crazy right now.
Mm-hmm.
See, I ain't gonna lie, not me.
But I do still, I mean, if we have an argument that we done had over and over and over again,
yeah,
my tone not gonna be the same as it was the first or second time.
Right.
Especially if I gotta tell you, if I'm telling you that if I have the same argument every time, my tone gonna be a little elevated.
Okay, so
irritation is real. So hold on, just like you telling me, I'm supposed to look at I'm supposed to feel that my tone is messing you up, right?
Yeah.
What about what you're doing that's got my tone like this? You don't care that my tone is like this because of something that you got going on or that we got going on right now. My tone is not the only thing.
Hey, Doc, don't say we if you don't mean we. Don't say we if you don't mean we, bro.
Boy, trying to get me.
Hey, bro,
I'm gonna be real, bro. The only thing that helps me
don't fall for the bait.
I mean, the tone thing is real. I think this is. I'm gonna get cooked, man. I wish we had a lady up here tonight.
It would help.
We do. My partner.
My thing is this. Respectfully, I just feel like they get the tone pass way more than us because our voices are deeper, and we're men, right? Like a woman can say it and sound a certain way, and it's like I'm being emotional. Understand it, this. Look, they ain't gonna say look past it, but like it's kind of understood. And us as guys, honestly, like we have a little more like, okay, I hear you. Like I ain't gonna talk crazy to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think. Oh my God, Doc, you in the blender, boy.
I believe it.
What? Nah, it's called communication. Learn how to talk to me. Hey, I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say this. Hey, Brittany, that means your tone better be A1 every time you communicate.
The whole time.
This is the thing that I say to what you just said. I do not disagree. I do not disagree. However, I feel like that's a double standard, yo. I feel like it's easy for to say tell a guy to learn how to communicate, but in reality, we speaking for myself, like most of us learn that if we care, and then like you say, okay, learn how to communicate. Okay, if I come in and be soft about it, it ain't gonna work out the first time the way you're saying. I do agree that you have to talk. I do think there's instances where tones get toe up. However, I would go on a limb to say that's 1-to-1. Your tone just as messed up as mine, and vice versa. Yours get just as messed up as mine do. That's what I would say about it. But the thing is, like it will take a lot more for a guy to say, like, hey, bro, you talking crazy right now, than it would for a woman to feel that way. Right. And cool. I'm not condoning dudes talking crazy to that lady. This is not what this conversation is about. Right. But what it is about is like, hey, frustration does play a factor. If you get into the silent treatment, I'm gonna be real. Don't silent treatment me. Like, I'd rather you say, like, hey, my silent treatment can be we don't talk about it, but we can still talk. You know what I'm saying? If I did it, I'm already an accountable person. I'm gonna hold myself accountable. If I did it, I could probably process why you feel the way you feel. I'm cool on that. But like, why I gotta be like the whole house gotta like turn off every light, don't say nothing, blow that candle out? Damn.
It ain't gotta be like that. I'm gonna piggyback off what you said. Two things. Number one, tone, because since we're on that subject, tone is for both sides, right? I get it. Like the tone of how you carry the conversation, all those things. Piggyback off what you said, Sneak, is this. You said double standard. Tone is for females. Boundaries are for men. And when you say it has to be a double standard, I'm gonna tell you why. Because a female, when your tone is raising your voice and you doing all this to get your point across and you yelling and doing all this, to her, all of that equates to is he's matching my energy. So the median is respect. So how you separate that is that you don't have to raise your voice when you communicate with somebody. If you communicate with your lady, now that we're more mature, now we're learning this, because we all done been to a yelling stage, an unstable stage. We all done been through that. Now communicating is like, listen, I'm setting a boundary. Hey, I didn't like how you did that. I would not like you to do that moving forward. It's not about tone. It's about being assertive and setting a boundary. If that person doesn't respect that boundary, then leave. Because it's all that boils down to tone on the women's side and boundaries on the men's side. Respect is in the middle. She feels like you're disrespecting her because you're yelling at her, right? You feel like you're being disrespectful.
But I don't. But real quick, I'm gonna let you finish, bro. I don't think tone necessarily mean yelling, though. Is the only point I want to make. I'm not saying,
raising your voice.
Nah, I think you can have a condescending tone and you can have a condescending tone and not be yelling at all.
So I think tone and delivery gets blended.
Okay, that's what Brittany just said. Brittany was like,
tone, right?
Say that again, brother.
Condescending tone, right? Let's agree with that. What is that equation for a female? Disrespectful, right?
Agree. I do agree on that. Yeah.
So
I just didn't want to. My bad, bro. I just didn't want to put it up here like we saying yelling is okay. That's not what I was saying.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just talking about. I was just talking about the tone. Like, you can have a condescending tone and not even never. You could be quiet and have a condescending tone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Brittany, I do agree. Tone and delivery are two different things. You can deliver the same message and change your tone. I don't disagree. I think this is a conversation of reciprocation. How I'm willing to change whatever I got to do, it got to be the same on the other end. Because let's be real, past a certain point, let's be real, y'all. Like, don't nobody want to argue. Don't nobody like tension in your crib. So we ain't even. That's not even the goal. I think, tone comes into play 9 times out of 10 when there's already a feeling before the situation happened. I think that's when tone come into play.
Yep.
Like if I'm bringing something new, I'm not gonna have a certain tone about it to me, unless I felt really strongly about it before I even brought it. I think there's some things you could do and talk about beforehand that kind of helps that. Anything else on that, fellas?
Nah, that was good.
Hey, look, we got one more before we get up out of here.
All right.
We're gonna get cooked, man.
Hey, tell us, speak
to her. Kendrick Lamar had a clean sweep with Not Like Us. He had Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best Rap Performance. I think he won something else. I'm not gonna lie.
Best music video.
Yeah, he won
Best
5
music
totals.
video. I'm not gonna lie.
And it was another one.
Yeah.
Because he won the most that night last night, didn't he, Princess?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I believe her name is Dolce, won Rap Album of the Year.
Yeah.
Rap City and Erykah Badu brought home an award. Salute to my man Chris Brown. Finally got a Best R&B Album of the Year. Deluxe.
It's his second one.
Okay.
He hasn't gotten one in like 10, 12 years.
Yeah. He won the same award in 2011 for Fame.
Okay. So his second one, Tim's won Best African Music Performance. And Alicia Keys got the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award. So, man, any real thoughts on the Grammy? Who won, who didn't? If it matters anymore, if music's still the same? I'm gonna just say this one thing. I really did not know how disconnected I was from music until I started seeing all the people who won last night.
The Grammys always makes me feel like that, though.
I ain't lying, bro.
And I'm big on music.
What up,
Brittany, what up?
Hey, y'all.
Hey, Brett.
I'm with you on that, Keenan.
Huh?
I said I'm with you on that, man. But I will say I really enjoyed the Best New Artist category. All of them had really good performances and good songs.
Yeah.
I'm just glad Beyonce. I'm not even my wife a crazy Beyonce fan. I'm just glad she got that country album, even though I haven't heard it in its entirety. I think it's a big FU to a lot of people, so I'm glad she won it. And I'm gonna just be real. That's why I'm stopping. I think Kendrick, you can't say you ended Drake's career, but he put a major dent in it, bro.
So let me
definitely.
Quick. Why are you glad that Beyonce won that?
Because I think sometimes, bro, good music is good music. Even though I'm not a country artist, like that album connected with a lot of people outside of just her fans. And I think sometimes you get the politics of it all, get caught into who wins what. But in reality, bro, that album was a really good album from what the feedback I hear. And when I hear it every other Saturday when it's playing in my house, like I really didn't hear too many bad songs off of it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Do you think that it was based off her name though?
No.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Only it was something based off her name. Come on, y'all.
No.
For her,
100%, Jay. Agree.
Come on.
If you do the research, she got a lot of real country artists, especially African American, to work on the album, right? Much like her Afro beats, like it was authentic to the genre. However, right, and I listen to country music. It wasn't the best album, and I think what hurts is that she finally won Album of the Year, and it was for that album when I know in my heart, and I know people know that she's had better albums that should have won that award.
Yes,
for sure.
And I think I think if there's any takeaway I have is that it's like y'all kind of gave her this because you knew she probably should have had it for Lemonade.
Lemonade was dangerous, boy.
I could agree.
Absolutely.
I could agree with that.
Lemonade had jokers arguing in the car and you ain't even do nothing. Nah, for real. I think Lewis, I'm not gonna lie, man. Again, I didn't listen to it in its entirety. I think she made it very authentic, but like I don't think she got it off her name though. I will go as far as saying that, Jay. I had to disagree with that. I don't think you went Album of the Year without it being I think to our ear, it may not have been the best. Do we have a country ear?
It's called the CMAs, and she didn't win one at all.
But there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that.
I agree, but that's my point. Right? Because if it's that good, then it would have gotten some type of acclaim in the space in which the genre is accepted. That's like us saying a rap award winning at, like when Macklemore won a rap album of the year, and he didn't win any hip hop awards, right? Like that album wasn't promoted heavily in our space, in our genre,
Mm-hmm.
and we
I
didn't,
wholeheartedly disagree.
See, with Macklemore, or with the point I made on the message
about the thing with the CMAs. Like, if y'all look at Texas Hold'em as a song, even though like Texas Hold'em it's a TikTok song to me, in my opinion. Like that's by far not my most favorite song on the album by a long stretch. However, that song did numbers on all charts, country charts, all the charts, and it didn't get one nomination. There's a reason for that. And it's because they didn't want her in the room. Same way they didn't want her in the room whenever she had a country song on Lemonade, Daddy Lessons, when she performed it at the CMAs. And they hated the fact that she was on their stage. There's a reason why there was no nominations. That song was entirely too big for it to not be nominated at the CMAs. And there was a reason for that.
So, Princess, you don't think that record was that big because of her name? I think if anybody else did that, it wouldn't have been the same. All of this coming on her name.
It was big because it was her. I mean, it was big because it was Beyonce, but it's also like a TikTokish song.
Right.
Yeah, but it's not a country song. I think like we kind of steer away from that. The genre still has it comes into play. Like, yes, it was a big song. Yes, it was Beyonce that brought the song. That's what made it that. But if we put some like country music, like to me, in my opinion, and I love Beyonce to death, I just don't think it was deserving of that, or even the CMAs. I understand there's some stuff they got going on, but as big as that award show is, like, I just kind of feel like it didn't fit the mold like it was supposed to. Beyonce had her own spin on it, but it didn't really fit the country mold for me. When I hear country, the first thing I'm not going to Cowboy Carter. Like, I'm not. That's not what I'm thinking of.
So my only thing with that is like, do we say the same thing for Bar Song Tipsy? Because that doesn't scream. And also Buckle Bunny by Tanner or Ardell, I think that's how you say her name, which was, both of them were featured on Cowboy Carter. But both of those songs are not necessarily like your typical country songs.
I feel like Tipsy is I feel like it's an anthem. It's like a country anthem. It sounds like when I hear Morgan Wallen or Kane Brown, it sounds like that. It sounds like the genre to me. The violin, the banjo, like it sounds like that to me. Shabuzi song does it. He got nominated for a CMA.
I know.
I think so. I'll say this: two things. Lewis, I think the CMA is not as objective as we would like it to be. I think there's a lot of subjectivity in that. I think, Jay, when you say things like because of her name, you disrespect her talent a little bit. Like, I'm not like, I don't. I'm just saying, does Beyonce name absolutely get her indoors musically? That but like
it definitely does.
Yeah, but I
sit here and act like it doesn't. So anybody can come out with. So she did a country album that's not her genre, right? She's an artist, right? She's a very talented person. We're not going to take that away. But we're also not going to sit up here and fake it, act like anybody could have done that. But we have to be real. You have to say your name to get in certain doors, and there's nothing wrong with that. But let's just call a spade a spade.
That's not a spade, though, bro, is what I'm telling you. No, it's not. Like, this is the thing. This is the thing, bro. Like, I hear everything you're saying. I absolutely do. Let that genre not be led by whites, and we wouldn't even be talking about this. The only reason we saying this is because she tapped into a genre that we're not typically in or that we don't lead. If Beyonce made a gospel album next year, people will have what they want to say about it, but it will be accepted. If she made a jazz album, it will be accepted.
I disagree, man, because you got black people, you got Darius Rucker, you got all these other people that are accepted into the CMAs because it's authentic to who they are and the music that they made. Exactly. Lenny Kravitz is a rock artist. He's accepted into that genre. So it's I get what Jay is saying. Like, it's not authentic to what we know her as, and what has thrusted her into stardom is not singing country music. So when she tries to pivot at the pinnacle of her career, I don't know if this is the pinnacle, she's been on top for a while, but at a high point in her career, she gets there because of her name. because the quality of music for that genre is not up to par with what we hear. It's not.
I disagree, but I get you.
But are people not allowed to change and
Yes,
experiment in different things?
they are. They are. They are.
But Princess, you can't take away certain things. And
like what?
Okay, the
Jay
reality.
is stand on it, Jay.
Hey, lie, bro. Jay standing on that joint, boy.
Really about to go there. That's like Bruce Jenner winning Woman of the Year.
Hey, whoa. Hey, Jay, that is nowhere it was.
No, bro. We not. This has nothing to do with that. He won Woman of the Year based off of his name. That's it.
Her name.
We not being real right now.
No, I'm definitely, especially because of the fact that a lot of people had a lot to say about the country album and that it's not country, it's not this, she shouldn't have did it, XYZ. I don't think that the country album of the year was just given to her just because. Now, one may argue that album of the year was given to her just because people are saying, you know, okay, Jay-Z got on the stage last year and, you know, that, you know, she got it this year. So, I mean, I could hear that argument, but just giving her country album of the year, like, I don't think that was just given to her solely because of her name. It's too many people in the Academy that don't give a damn, and they've showed it year after year, even though she's Beyonce. So I don't think all of a sudden this year they would just change their mind and hand her country album of the year just because it's Beyonce.
To your point about the Academy, they did, if you were on when Harvey got up and spoke, who's an R&B guy, by the way, right? He spoke about how they shifted the voting and how they opened the pool up to younger voters. And I think you start to see more of an influence on outcomes. And I think that there's not, outside of Taylor Swift, I don't think there's a bigger artist that would influence votors than Beyonce.
Absolutely.
So I think some of it is politics.
It is. I'm real, Jay. You picked a good time to dip out. I don't know where you was going with what you said, brother, but I'm gonna just finish with the Grammy thought with this. I'm glad Rap City got a Grammy. Yeah, I think Jay said everything I think this segment right here needs.
He kicked you out, Jay.
Wait. Can I just say something? Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, for sure.
Because we didn't bring it up. I just still will never understand why people wear certain things to the Grammys, just because that was also really hot topic that I just thought was crazy. Outside of the music, yes, I agree with. Yes, I hear everybody's point with the music and Beyonce and all that kind of stuff. And when we were having a conversation, I thought about even like K. Michelle, like nobody questions that she sings country now, right? Because it is a part of who she is. Like, you almost expect it from her, right? But I do think, to Princess's point, people just like Glorilla, she just had Maverick City in her album, and for a lot of people, it's like, what is she doing with a gospel? That doesn't make sense, right? But some people was just like, no, but it does make sense. It's like a crossover thing, right? So I definitely think that people can experiment and stuff like that. I just think that it was unexpected from some people, right? And also not expected from other people. I know I'm freezing. But yeah, I just thought Kanye's girl, whatever she was wearing, that was highly inappropriate and wildly crazy. Same thing with what's his name with the thing on his head. Why? I just don't understand it, and that's all I wanted to say about the Grammys.
Kanye girl was wearing nothing at all.
Yeah, but like Kanye know how to be Kanye. Like, that's the way he takes attention off what, like, and then like knowing that he just left after that, Kanye just needed the attention he wanted and dip.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, he loves that, bro. That's just who he is. It was insane though. I'm like, bro, who would sit there and nah, dog? I couldn't get it. Was insane. Any other thoughts on the Grammys?
Shout out to Chris Brown. Woo.
Yeah, you know, Chris Brown don't really get the respect he deserved for real. He really don't. It's sad. And you learn. I'm gonna put Usher in this category real quick too. Like, longevity don't always help you. like to be good for so long, or like how Lewis just said, like she may not be at the pinnacle because she's been on top for so long. Like after a while, people stop respecting what you do because you do it at a high level so well. Like Chris Brown is still making good music.
I can't agree with that.
Okay,
well, my boy is on the opposite side today.
Yeah, he got a nap today. He's sitting down.
Oh, he ain't hold that phone.
Yeah, he's sitting down. He got to stand now. He got both. Look, you know what I'm saying?
Hell no, not today. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, go ahead, Jay. Say what you about to say.
You not froze, boy.
Nah, he jumped in luncheon.
What's happening?
Oh man. Hey, to your point, Keenan.
Lord.
Hey, but look, Keenan, to your point about Chris, my wife and I was having that discussion, and Usher. I think Chris has pushed Usher to push out more music because Usher would kind of put out something and kind of go away for a couple years and come back. But like Chris has been so consistent. And here's what's most admirable for me to Chris is that he had to overcome his own doings. And he's that great to where he's starting to win people over again. He's been so consistent by putting out good music, performing to the point to where he's now starting to win people over because a lot of the culture stuck with him, but he's starting to win those people back who tried or who like despised him. He's that good to where you have to recognize his talent and his greatness. 110%. I'm proud of him, man.
For sure. True. Hey, Jay, what were you about to say about people being on top?
I was gonna give basically talk about Usher and how he's been on top for a very long time. And
Usher had like 2 bad albums though.
Out of how many albums?
I know, but Usher went off the deep end really, really bad with those 2 though.
Like that longevity.
And I'm an Usher fan. Usher's my guy.
Are you just saying that because of the genre that he tapped into, which was more like that techno dance?
Nah, Hard to Love wasn't techno.
I'm talking about one of the albums. I forgot which one it is.
Nah, I'm talking about Hard to Love and what was right after that? It wasn't that. Are you talking about with Oh My God and all that stuff?
Yeah, that era that he was in, yeah.
No, that album wasn't bad to me. It was Hard to Love. And I can't remember. It was one either right before or right after Hard to Love. And then he kind of pivoted back, but they weren't up to par to me for an Usher album. But I just don't think people respect when you have longevity like that. Marcus Sales said Usher wasn't on top at one point. Whoa. I'm saying he might have the music. He was always on top, though. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Get him,
Looking for Myself. You're right. Looking for Myself was the other album. Looking for Myself was the other album.
At one point, R. Kelly was on top.
All right, bro. So Alicia Keys.
My boy controversial tonight.
Yeah, like what are you on, bro? You try to get us demonetized as soon as we cross over. Yeah, as soon as we cross over the partnership, you trying to like get us out of here. Yeah, Dave.
Not letting motherfuckers slide episode. That's what this is.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, that verbiage of R. Kelly being on top was crazy too. That was insane. That was wild. But Alicia Keys won the Dr. Dre Global Impact Fair or Foul, y'all, and then we're gonna get up out of here. All right, man. So this one is from the group chat, man. You know what I'm saying? You hop in the DM, you rapping, you saying, yo, what's good, da-da-da. Someone knows you. You asked a lady on a first date. She says yes, but she doesn't give you her number. Fair or foul?
What?
So like I know a woman. We communicate via socials. That's how we've been talking. I asked her on a date. She says, yeah, that's cool, but doesn't give me her actual number yet. But we are going on a date and we're communicating via socials. Fair or foul?
Fair.
I think that's fair.
You've been communicating that way all this time. So, I mean, what's the difference?
Man, Lewis, what you think, bro, before I say?
I think that's fair. I think people can, because of social media, you can now determine the level of access you give someone. So I think it's fair.
Man,
I think it's stupid, but I think it's fair.
Hey, there go. Hey, see, that's the verbiage we was just talking about. It's good, bro. That's good. Let me use A's words. I can see why you think that stupid shit is fair. Let me use that verbiage. You know what I'm saying? Nah,
that was good, partner. That was good.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not going.
What?
I'm not going.
You're gonna throw the whole date away?
Dog. Hey, let's be real about something. If I feel comfortable enough to ask you on a date and you don't feel comfortable enough to give me your number, why are we going on a date?
But did you ask her for her number, or did she just not give it to you?
Hey,
why? Like, how did you get to asking somebody on a date and you didn't have their number in the first place, and then you get mad when you don't get the number and you ask them on the date?
Hey, Marcus, man, let them know something, man. Not going out and not have your number. That's insane, man. Let them know something.
Why was it not? Can I ask, like, why was it not a priority to get the number first before you started even communicating that deep to get to the point of a first date? Like now it's important for you to have.
Hey, look, hold on. So like scenario Earth 99. You feel me? Yo, what up, Dada? We been rapping, and I say we're all in the DM. Yo, I'd love to take you out to lunch. Oh yeah, that's a bet. That's cool. I would love to do that too. Typically, if she actually wants to go, here's my number. If I say that and she go, oh yeah, that's cool, and we leave it there, you don't like me for real. I don't want to go to lunch somewhere.
I can say the same thing. You don't like me for real because you ain't asked for my number. Why didn't you follow up and say, well, let me get your number so I can talk to you, or let me get your number so I can text you, or let me get your number so I can send you more details?
Hey, how many times you withheld your number for somebody you like?
How many what?
How many times you withheld your number from somebody you like?
It doesn't matter. That's not the question.
I bet it don't.
I'll say something because Keena, I think you have a point with this one in this regard. Because I'm thinking, even to get to, well, granted, we all know I'm not a social media person anyway, but that was. But for me, I'm thinking, like, if there's somebody that I'm interested in, one of my first things is like, just text me. It's just easier. Now, for some people, it's not easier like it is because they're always on social media or whatever. But yeah, if I like somebody, I would go out of my way to just be like, just text me. We wouldn't have gotten to the place that you're asking me out on a date through a DM. Mm-hmm. First of all, I really do think that you should have asked for the number way before you planned the date, first date, in a DM. That's weird to me. So
I think this is a more of a generational based perspective because you know, a lot of young people below us, I know, Keenan, you're in education, that's how they communicate with one another. That's literally what they don't even ask for the number now. They ask for Instagram or
but they also don't go on dates, Lewis.
They probably don't go on dates either, right? So, and they're like, hey, meet us at, hey, you want to go on a date? Let's meet here, right? So we meet there. What's the point? And then I wouldn't see that as a way for me to not go. I would just say, hey, okay, maybe this person isn't comfortable with that yet. It's more about the date than it is for me and my ego of having your number, to be honest with you. If I'm asking you.
I respect what you're saying, brother. We don't disagree that often. 2 times in one show. I'm going to agree with Marcus L here. Why would you withhold your number for someone whom you agree to see in person with?
I think that's withholding. I use that word withholding very lightly. It might just be a miscommunication, right? Because I just feel like the same way that your eyes literally touched the ceiling. The same way that you're anticipating the phone number, I mean, she could be anticipating the ask. I don't think it's that serious to not go on a first date. And honestly speaking, like she could have easily gave her phone number just as much as you could have easily asked.
My thing is, my thing is, I'm gonna just have to stand on my opinion. Like, I just think she don't like you like that for real. If she says yes through a DM, even if she gave the number after she said yes, right? Like, nah, dog. And I'm speaking from my age. I'm not speaking because this is also the other thing that I would have to give millennials credit for, right? 9 times out of 10, we vetted to the point of safety. That person have made it through the great group chat. All your people's peeped all you done did your Facebook, so you done did all that. So like we vetted to the point where, like, okay, cool, hit me. You know what I'm saying? Like, Because I think there are people that you may shoot your shot. Because what if the communication isn't as much, right? Somebody says, hey, look, somebody, hey, all right, I'm gonna put that up there. I ain't shameful. So I just think like, yeah, no, I'm not. I think it's nothing wrong with talking to somebody DM, but at our big age, it should transition into. Because how have we've never talked on the phone, but we're gonna go on a date.
Why'd you ask me?
Why'd you say yes? Why'd you say yes? But hold on, why'd you say yes?
Because clearly there's a mutual feeling that we like each other, that we're interested in one another. A first date can be anything to get to know each other a little bit better. So like by you talking on the phone is going to determine whether you go on the date or not. Why did you ask me on a first date if you didn't have my phone number already, if that was such a big deal for you? Like, I'm not understanding that part.
Hey, where Marcus Sell at, man? Let's assume he asked.
Oh my gosh.
Where
Now, if he asked and you didn't give, then that's withholding.
All right, she said, why not just ask? Your pride got you feeling all rejected. Yeah, for sure. Like, this is a thing. Like, this is what I hate. I hate, like, you show somebody that like rejection. What you say earlier, Lewis, about rejection?
No one likes it.
Oh, yeah. Like, don't see, this is the problem. A lot of people in the millennial joint, like, ain't never got that, like, like, you ain't get that when you was younger, so you don't know what it feel like. So people scared of it now. That ain't the issue. To me, I'm not, now respectfully, I probably ain't asking through no date through a DM for real, but I will tell you this. There is no way that if we get to a date and I don't have your number, you might have to pay for your own meal.
First you're not going, now she paying. What's going on, brother?
I think so I'm gonna take my boy's perspective here. That's a lot of it's like I gotta ask you for everything. You know what I'm saying? Like I already asked you on the date, right? Like meet me halfway. You get what I'm saying? Like it is obvious that we would need some way to communicate with one another that is a bit more simpler. And again, I think about phone numbers as access. Like I would need some type of access to ensure that this goes as planned. Right. Mm-hmm. Or if something comes up, you could communicate with me in a way where I don't have to get on the app. It's directly, you're going to get me directly. So I think that part of it, just thinking about it, the logistics of going on a date, I think that makes it easier for everyone involved.
Yeah, I think it depends on.
Hey, Princess here in spirit tonight, for real.
Yeah, for real, she is.
She here in spirit for tonight, for real.
I agree with what Lewis is saying, right? Like wholeheartedly, I do. But I'm also thinking there are also a group of folks that getting on Instagram is just as easy. For example, some people they get on like WhatsApp. Everybody loves WhatsApp. Granted, for me, y'all know me, I'm just different. But for some people, it's like, yeah, just hit me up on WhatsApp. Why when I could just text you? You know, it's the same thing. Oh, just send me a DM.
Yeah, it's that end-to-end encryption.
Right, but that part. But I do think that for some people, if there's so many other ways of having access now, that like I think that's why I think this one can be fair. I really don't think that it has to be foul, only because for some it depends on what type of millennial we talking to. It depends on if we're talking to a Gen Zer. You know what I'm saying? It really, to Lewis's point, it really is generational. And even the nuances even within that part. Because don't hit me up in the DM.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. That's my so what's that? I think we're in young folks' business with this one. This ain't our debate. I ain't gonna lie.
I agree. I think it's not. Exactly. I don't think it's our debate. I don't.
Hey, look, give me the number, man.
That number was a big deal back in the day, man. That was everything.
It was. Wait, do y'all remember how they used to have the thing where you could get them the fake number, and then when the person called, it was like this person didn't want you to have their real number.
Y'all yeah. I got one of them before.
I'd have to say I don't. I haven't experienced that. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Okay. Here Lewis go. Yeah. Hey, look, he was on Facebook on the computer messaging people like, hey. He was on AOL.
AOL. AIM.
Hey, do y'all know what ASL stand for? Y'all don't. Oh, y'all ain't never been in no chat room, bro. We're gonna get up out of here. Hey, look, man. Appreciate it. Y'all don't, what it stand for?
Age, sex, location.
Okay, I know. All right, she done been in the chat room before. Hey, look, look. Yeah, but so, hey, man, appreciate everybody tapping in tonight, man. We hope you enjoyed this segment of the Monday Night Crew. Please take a second and like this video, subscribe to the channel to get all content that's coming to the page, whether it be Monday Night Crew, Last Name Loyalty, Traffic Jam, or the Kickback by MBW. Show major love. Also, DC, May 17th, the first stop of the Millennials vs. World Podcast Party Tour. It's popping off at Cafe St. Next. You don't want to miss it. Sponsored by 3708 Tequila. We going in, man. Appreciate everybody tapping in, man. We are the Monday Night Crew. And we got to make sure I ain't miss nothing. And we are out. Appreciate y'all, man.
Peace.
Bye.
In the name of healing, we've been talking about trauma, trauma reference points and things like this. So you're in a relationship and you find that some healing needs to take place. What comes first? Individual therapy or couples therapy? Meaning, like, you see some issues, y'all had a conversation. Do you feel like you go to therapy individually first and then y'all make it a couples therapy? Does couples therapy come first? What's y'all thoughts on in that process? Which one should come first?
Neither. I think they're done simultaneously.
Okay.
I think individual therapy should happen as well as couples therapy, but I also think if you have a good couples therapist, they take you out individually and talk to you individually about certain things, so you can come back together and kind of take on those things. But I do think individual therapy, sometimes when we have couples therapy, it's hyper focused on what's happening in the relationship, communication. We're talking about all the things that's the foundation of a relationship. And then it could go back to some sort of trauma, childhood trauma. Attachment styles is something big that we like to use in couples therapy. But then if you're talking individually, you can really get to the core root of something. Because in couples therapy, I will say that once they bring out that core trauma or healing that inner child, and then your partner's looking at you sideways, like, I kid you not, it comes up all the time where it's like, oh, well, that's why. Oh, that's connected. You were looking for love in all the wrong places because your mama didn't give it to you. Like, it could cause more damage in your relationship than if you go and heal that part of you individually. So I definitely think they should happen simultaneously at the same time with different therapists.
So Louis B.
I think sound like someone trying to get some billable hours, but what I'm thinking is
maybe.
So I think it's individual first, and
okay,
because you didn't do it before you got into a relationship or got married or to a commitment, I think the couples therapy does have to be a part of that journey, though, right? But I think first, individually, you have to do the work on you to understand yourself and your responses and why you respond to things that way, and who you truly are. It's, speaking personally from my journey, it allowed me to understand why things were showing up, to Brittany's point, in my relationship, not only in my marriage, but in my parenting and at my job. You know what I'm saying? Or in my interactions with friends. Like, it allowed me to understand some of the things that I've been dealing with. And I think I got so much more of being able to just pour and really I don't want to say be selfish, but really prioritize me. Because I think the better me I am, the better that relationship and the better I'm going to be for that relationship. So I think you have to get into a certain point to where you can actually recognize and understand how therapy can help you as a person before you start bringing that into an environment with someone else.
Hey, so Louis, can I ask you a question to that?
Mm-hmm.
Before you went you said that question now based off your experience that you had, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before you went on your own, did couples therapy push you to individual, or did Louis seek individual first?
Louis sought individual first. I don't think couples therapy would have been as effective if I didn't go on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have been able to understand. It would have been productive, but I really had to understand me. I really had to understand me. And I think like when you commit or you marry somebody, I think it's two individuals becoming one. Right. And I think as that journey progresses, you're still your own person while you two are moving in this direction together. And I think that it's important for two people to have a really strong sense of understanding of themselves so that they can understand how they both need to move forward together. So that's why I think that individual part is so important, because people get lost and wrapped up in the idea of being married and in marriage, that they lose sense of self. And I think you have to first define that and center yourself there before you can move effectively or as effectively as you can on that journey together.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Well said, brother. Partner, what you think? What's for you? Which comes first? Which comes second?
I think, I think individual should come first. But I do think that with couple, like I don't think it should end though once you start couples counseling. To Britt's point, like I definitely think that when you're in couples counseling, I think that you do have to have that space that you then go back to process what just happened in couples counseling, absent from your partner. Because a lot of times, and granted, that is not my area of expertise. That's all Brit. But in my mind, with couples and stuff like that, like there are certain things that's going to come up in that session that you did not anticipate, that you did not think about, that when y'all have to leave from that session, it's going to be an awkward car ride home. And you do need a safe space to then go to process how you then receive that messaging. How did that sit with you, and the things that you did not even say, right? Because there are some things too that the partner might not know is a trigger or did come up, all those things. So I think individuals should come first, to Lewis's point. And and then I think being able to introduce couples counseling, but then I think it should kind of maintain at the same time. Personally.
Yeah. And I'm gonna double down on what Lewis said, but just in a different way. Just make sure you're not going to therapy for anybody else. Because when I went, it was solely just like, oh no, I gotta figure this out. Now I will say this, that I'm what's the buzzword vulnerable. When I went, bro, it just made me like, I think it could work both ways, right? Like nobody's perfect. You learn a lot about yourself, but it also reassured me that I wasn't crazy in certain instances. You know what I mean? Like the thing that you think may be crazy or that you shouldn't be reacting to, or the way you react to something, you could go and realize like, oh no, dag, I have been handling that the right way. I will say this. I think it is very hard to operate in a relationship if only one person is seeking individual.
Boy.
I think that is so hard to operate in that space because you're learning so much about yourself and you're healing parts of you. And the one thing I appreciate about my wife, when I went, she went just because she was like, I don't want you to feel like you on that journey by yourself, even if she didn't necessarily feel like something that she had to do on her own, but she took the initiative to show me like, I don't want you to be working on yourself and you think I'm not. So I appreciated that. Right. But in the very same note, as I'm very high on like self-improvement, right? If you are not aligned with getting you and your partner wanting to get better individually, boy, that can cause some turmoil. What? It really can. You got to be real about it. And I'm gonna be real about couples therapy that I don't like. Be real. Be feel like you don't be talking about the real shit. You be talking about what we picked in the car last night for dinner, and we got a bigger issue outside of why we bickering over that small thing. I think sometimes in couples therapy, if it's not approached to actually solve the problem and it's only approached by the couple to be heard, that's a venting session. Like if you don't have an intent or a goal of why you all are going to fix an issue that you can't understand, and you're going just to, it sounds good, but y'all just want to be heard. You want the other person to hear you without judgment. She wants you to hear me, but I ain't really here for no goal. That's counterproductive to me.
That's the therapist's job, though. A lot of couples come in for that reason, Keenan, just to be heard. It's a he say, she say, pointing fingers all session long. But it's up to the therapist to then jump in and say, okay, stop. Did you hear what he said? Did you hear what she said? Repeat it back to me. What did you hear? And as you sift through those conversations, you connect the dots of, hey, you remember when you said X, Y, and Z back when that triggered you? That's your trigger. Let's talk about it. Did you know that triggered him? Like, your therapist has to connect those dots, because a lot of times couples come into those, they come into those spaces just wanting to be heard. Like, we got in an argument last night. You're not listening to me. So we got a therapist that's a middleman that's going to let me talk. It's not about just talking. It's conflict resolution. So what are we going to get out of this? If your therapist is not giving you that, then you need to find somebody else.
I agree. But
hold on, let me
ahead,
double down too from the individual therapist side too. Like, it's the same thing. Like, people that come into individual therapy also just want to vent. And it's like, yeah, sure, that can be a part of it, right? But if you are going to a therapist, for whoever's listening, and you are never challenged, if you go there and you are never in disagreement with your therapist, right? You should feel somewhat challenged by them.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not right. I'm not avoidant. Nuh-uh. Like, you should have those moments, right? You should not ever feel like, whew, I'm glad I got that off my chest, and you didn't learn anything. You didn't have a takeaway, right? If you're doing that, I'm gonna be honest, you're wasting your money. You could just call a friend for that.
That's the part I wasn't prepared for when I went. I was like, yo, I'm really pissed off at this lady right now. What are you talking about? Like, that's honestly, that's really where my healing journey began, is when I got pissed with my therapist, But then what helped is that I talked to other people that had been going to therapy and they had the same experience.
Oh yeah.
They had this exact same experience where they got upset, right? But when they went back, they were able to understand kind of what they were saying. But it is a journey.
Mm-hmm.
And to Keenan's point, I think the thing that therapy did, I know we talk about something else, but I think this is a very important conversation, y'all. So sorry. I think what therapy does is it validates your feelings. It may not always validate the responses. It may not always validate the way you handle it, but it validates your emotion and your feeling in response. And no one's ever wrong. And that's why I can get to a place now where I can have conversations and have conflict resolution. You guys experience that firsthand, because I'm able to understand that regardless of whatever the intention was or what the experience was or how the factual element of it, you felt a certain way. And now I can empathize with how you feel. While I don't agree, I can empathize with how you feel. And I think therapy has allowed me to evolve to that point. And I think it is one of the most powerful tools that we can leverage as a society. Sorry, that's my spill.
It was beautiful, bro. I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
I got a question for Asia and Brittany. So, hey, y'all, this is how we are. We just rapping. So can you validate without empathizing? Like how Lewis just said, like, therapy validates your feelings, and like now he said, no side is really wrong. It's perspective based. Boom, boom, boom. Now I can empathize with how you feel. Can I validate your feelings without empathizing with them?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so, and only because, like, even when you are validating, right, and you can empathize, it does not mean that you would also handle it the same way, right? It's being able to say, like, I can see, like, I use it a lot, like, I can see how that would make you upset. Like, I would never get upset about that, but because I know you, your personality, temperament, I can see how you would get upset by that. Right? I have both empathized, being able to see it from your perspective, and I validated your feelings that you felt upset by that thing, even though I don't necessarily feel the same way, or I wouldn't handle it the same way. So I think they go hand in hand.
Okay. All right. All right. So both, because y'all are together, y'all are mirrors of each other in some way. It also shows if both partners are willing to elevate together by individual and group work. Lewis, I think this is to you, Black Man Healing and Therapy. Lewis made a great point about knowing yourself to go as you go into a relationship. There are triggers that you need to know exist and how to navigate separate from a partner. I wholeheartedly agree. Asia, we're gonna bump that last one and get into fair or foul because of time. Is that cool? I'm assuming she said. Okay.
Yes.
All right, bet. All right, we got long as 2 minutes, but we're gonna play it and then kind of rap about what we see.
Okay.
What's going on? Do you live here? Yeah. You do? Papa. I don't believe that. What? I don't believe that. So what are you doing here? Rory, come on. Rory, come on. Hey.
Did someone come here?
That was my wife. Somebody chased her up here, and she had kids.
Who chased her?
She said somebody in a silver truck.
A gray truck, and he came around the corner, and I was in the street, and so I come up, and I just have my kids, and so I'm like gonna pretend that I'm coming home, and so I pull up and I start walking to your back gate, and he stops here and he goes, "Are you looking for someone?" And I said, "Nope." And then he sat here, and I was like, I need to get in.
Well, that's my husband. That's why he lives here. Yeah. He lives here. So he came in and he said there's a lady screaming, and I'm like, that's.
She got all worried that some.
Scared the crap out of me.
How?
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
How did he scare you though?
I just seen her in the driveway, and I was like, "Are you looking for somebody?" Because I was pulling up out.
And I saw someone walking in our driveway too, and I'm like, why is someone walking in our driveway?
I'm sorry.
All right, sorry.
What? She said that someone was following her. So you were walking from there?
No, you came this way, didn't you?
No, I came down this street right here.
Yeah.
And I was riding slow because I'm looking at our Christmas lights.
Well, you just have to understand my point of view. Being by myself with 2 kids, I just saw a car coming, and so I was like, oh, it scared me, and so I just pulled up here, and I kept thinking, this could be his house. But you didn't say, this is my home. You just said, are you looking? And I was like,
I did. When you was on the porch, you asked me, did I live here? I said, yeah.
And you said, no, you don't.
And you said, I don't think you do.
It was obviously you could tell that I was really caught off guard.
Like I'm pulling in my, it's like I'm pulling in my house. Like this is not, this neighborhood is probably one of the best neighborhoods in Ohio.
It is.
You don't have to worry about stuff like that.
Well, I'm very sorry. I really hope that you're not upset with me.
Come on, baby, go in the house. Let's go.
You told me that I didn't.
Hey, look, man. Hey, look, dog. I'm gonna be honest with
cameras.
you. Hey, B, I'll start with you, bro. What's your thoughts, bro? Oh, what's your thoughts, brother?
Shout out to cameras, because this happens a lot, and the places that don't have cameras don't get this recognition. This don't get broadcast like that. So shout out to them for having a ring. If you ain't got one, get one. But she tried backpedaling so hard. And it made her case so much worse. She looked so bad. Like she would have been better off just owning up to it. Like, you know what? I fucked up. Because she did. Like, I saw someone driving down the street and I got scared. What are we talking about? So people can't drive down the street now? What are it like? You're gonna neglect the fact that you asked him if he lived there. He told you, yeah, you gonna tell this man you don't live here? Because it's a black man with locks. It's really wild to see stuff like this still going on today. It's really wild. And then husband sitting there looking crazy because he like, my wife wrong. That's why he ain't say nothing. If he felt like she was right, he would have had her back and he would have said a whole lot more. But he's sitting there quiet, looking crazy. Got that man in a bad situation.
I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I'm gonna be super G. I ain't gonna say nothing crazy that I want to say, but
No,
I'll just leave you here.
She did. You should.
Yeah, be honest.
Nah, man. I'm gonna be real, yo. Like, I'd rather find a affluent black neighborhood where there's some type of mutual community. Like, I just don't like what you said is 110% facts. I'm not going back on what you said, Dot. I'm not saying that anything you said isn't true, but to me, it's almost like, you know, as blacks, as a black person making money, as a black man, as all the things, like, dog, why you go in that neighborhood to feel safer, but you just really dealing with a different problem. Like, that could have went left and broke. Y'all know if the cops would have got called and it didn't get squared away, y'all know how that could have ended. I think the older I get, the more of a problem I have. Like, when I look for that type of home, I'm also going to look at the community, and is it a community I want to be in, not one that I just deem safe? Because it may be physically safe. You might not have a lot of robberies and violence and stuff like that, but like, your mental and emotional ain't gonna be good after that, bro.
Bro, you got them people everywhere. Unless you go knock on everybody's door, you don't know who like that.
I hear what you're saying, Doc. I really do.
That is true.
I don't disagree, but I feel like there's neighborhoods where people have more of a mutual respect in that. Because you ain't care about stepping on my door. You didn't care about knocking on my door when you were scared. What if my wife had that thing with her because I'm not home, and she would have came out the door and did something else? So you don't even have mutual respect enough. You know what it is, bro? We mind our business. We mind our business. Like, you got scared to the point where you came to my house. Nah, dog, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. And I'm gonna be real with you. Salute to him and the way he carried himself, the way he handled it, the way he answered every question, the way he went through all that. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I had to let my wife handle that one. Well, nah, never mind. I had to handle that one.
Yeah, I'll say, know about that one.
So Brittany said,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Brittany said, I'm supposed to miss out on my dream house for some crusty Mayo users. Nah. So
hey, that's
wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Let's go, Ponder.
I don't think it's that. I just think it's that, like, this is my thing. I'm not saying it's right. But like, bro, that come with it. When you like, there's neighborhoods that look like that have that dream home, that have a community of more mutual respect than that. Is what I'm saying.
But how do you determine? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
go ahead, Jay.
Really quick. So first, both of you guys made great points. I'll piggyback off both of you guys' points. Sneak, I'll start with you. When you said,
so you about to text about the school, Sneak, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I will, yeah, definitely. So when you said about the neighborhood, right? You said kind of find more so, you know, our people, more so blue collar workers or our neighborhood, right?
I didn't define the type of work, to be respectful. I didn't define the type of work.
We're not gonna dilute it to blue collar workers.
Yeah.
But I'm saying more so people that look like us, right? It's not the neighborhood. It's more so, first of all, no neighborhood just has a good neighborhood. It's more good neighbors. It's not a neighborhood. Nobody has like a whole group of people that's just like we all in. I'm gonna just start with that. Okay. So he wasn't wrong in the aspect. Dot made a good point with the situation of when he came up on the porch and Shorty tried to backpedal. She took no accountability. He sat there and stated that I do stay here. And she said, no, you don't. For you to sit here as I pay my mortgage like you do and tell me I don't stay in the residence where I stay is mind-blowing to me. And you're going to tell me I saw a car creeping down the neighborhood and turned in. So I fear for my life, basically. And then I walked up to a house where he stayed. You rung the bell. And then now he's sitting here and has to explain himself of why he does stay here. It makes no sense. At his house.
That's what gets me.
I don't think it's the neighborhood. I think it's the person. And that lady was stereotyping him. And instead of being upfront and honest and saying, hey, I seen a black man with dreads, quote unquote, what I am programmed to think is a threat. Instead of being honest, you up here lying, talking about, I didn't know what was going on. That would have pissed me off more. I'm going to be honest. Because I am a black man with dreads. And I would have lit her ass up. Because I'm like, yeah, you're not about to do this. But if, like you said, if the cop was called, and they would have came out there, that situation could have went left for no reason.
Yeah, I agree, Jay. Jay meant lit up like his Christmas lights. That's what he meant. Yeah. So the thing is, bro, let me clarify something. I'm not saying it doesn't happen in every neighborhood. And this is unfortunate, but what I am saying is when you look at neighborhoods, you being who we are, you do have to look more at than just a floor plan. You do have to look at other things.
But how would you know?
Yeah, and what were you taught when you got money?
So
money, what neighborhoods were you looking for that you deemed safe as
so I never not being funny, not being playing on semantics. I never said safe meaning every neighborhood is perfect. But I'm gonna answer the question, Jay.
Like an African American man, not just as your experiences. What would you deem a safe neighborhood?
All right, so
you got to a certain caliber of money.
I'm not being funny. Hey, don't judge me, but I'm being honest. First thing I'm gonna do is look at the schools, the school districts, look at their demographics, look at how they're performing. Secondly, I'm going to see who's in their council hall, who's the local government, what type of stuff they sticking and moving. Also, and I'm being dead serious, bro. Also, I look at a lot of churches in the area. Most family people go to things like that in the area. Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying that kills everything. What I'm saying is, when you look at schools, when you look at different things, you get an okay depiction of what it looks like. What I'm saying is,
those neighborhoods, not to cut you off. In those neighborhoods, let's dissect what you said.
For sure.
Let's start with schools. In those neighborhoods, are those schools predominantly white or black that you're looking at?
So I live in one of the most affluent black counties, so it's hard for me to relate to that because this is where I lived at in my adulthood. So most of areas that look like that where I'm at have people that look like me.
So they're not predominantly black. They're predominantly black schools, not white.
Where I'm at, yes.
Where you're located, okay.
Yes. Because this is the other side of it, right? I also think like that's in Ohio. I mean,
there's about 8 white people out there, ain't it?
Bro, I think it's this. Shay is crazy, man. Shay is crazy, man. Bro, I think the thing is, bro, he's insane. I think the thing is that I'm trying to say is like, I'm not saying that you won't have predominantly this, predominantly that. I think there are certain measurements you could take beyond just looking at the crib and get a good measurement of how the neighborhood is. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to Dot's point, Dot, you may not always know. You feel me? But like, bro, if I go move in Backwood, Texas on 7 acres with my mansion, hey, the neighbors might not be that 7 acres is aggressive. 2-3 acres. Like, but bro, I kind of know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've worked outside for the last 6 years, and in every single neighborhood that I have been in, it don't matter. Raleigh, Durham, Charlotte, Greensboro, Virginia. It don't matter, bro. There's always at least one. There's always one.
I get where you're going. But I get where you're going. I do think that's true. I think the video wouldn't bother me. Go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry.
I say, even in the field I work in, I experience it all the time. So you and Keenan, we always talk about if you know, you know. It's always one.
I think the thing that bothered me in the video, for real, what really bothered me was, and this is gonna sound crazy, the whole thing bothered me. But what really pinched my nerve and twisted it was like, you came to my house and act like I didn't live where my actual house is. If this was like we was on the street, it was at a stop sign, and you lost your mind, you will have a better case. You still racially profile me, but like it's like you faked and try to come into my house. And the thing is, like, I'm glad his wife was saying, no, you did this, you did that. Because think about that, bro. Like, think about what scene you cause in a neighborhood like that, screaming like that.
Hey, that's great.
Got people looking at me.
Yeah, like, come on, dog.
Hey, come on,
man.
Yeah,
that lack of accountability was really, really, really crazy. Yeah. Really, really, really crazy. Like I said, shout out to cameras.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would have chased her for like 2 blocks off the strength.
Yeah, see, AJ, yeah, you hey, so we know who's not getting in those neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Why we running? Why we running?
Yeah. Hey, look, now here go Jay. Do you no, I'm not there, but I'm not gonna say on camera. I forgot for a quick second we was live, bro. Hey, I'm about to say something wild. Hey, nah, man. So that was the videos we had for tonight, fellas. We're gonna kind of tap into something about communication. So I had a couple of debates. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna start out with a comment. Hey, we're gonna start out with a comment before she better pay for that side of the house at that point.
Let's go.
Hey, now we talking.
That's wild. Do you even like him for real? Like what?
No, she can't like him.
That's crazy. And the fact that she said like she said I'll sleep with him at night, but I want separate spaces during the day because if I'm trying to read a book, like why are you in here talking to me? Why are you with him? Like how do you guys interact? How do you guys communicate? How do you get to know your partner? Why do you want to be separated from him? And then when y'all are laying down in the bed at night, are you then choosing to talk? Like what? I don't know. What foundation is that relationship built on? That's crazy. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard, actually.
People don't really be liking their partners for real. I say it all the time.
Yeah.
I think everybody should have a space in their home, just not the bedroom. Like I think it's fair for, that's where the man cave or I don't know what the ladies' rooms are called, but like you can have your little like vibe in your little area, you know what I'm saying? But not nowhere where sleep happens. Nah.
Right.
Like if you got your little wind down situation, hey, go down here, I'm watching, don't nobody come down here, leave me alone. I respect that. I do believe people should have that. You know what I'm saying? I just, I said, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like when not all women, but when women like that say that, like you have no idea how much you probably get on his nerves too, at all. Like that just seemed like you doing him a favor at that point.
Yeah.
Like if you feel that way, trust me, he must feel the exact same way. Like, dog, what? Like, and I think what I hate most about this whole like separate but equal culture, like everybody want to be independent in relationships. Like, and it's so insane. Like, dog, I'm not doing that. If we start sleeping in second bedrooms, let's start talking polygamy.
Yeah, sleeping in a different bed is insane to me.
It is.
There's nothing like ending the night. Like, what are you in a different bed? I want you down the hall. Are you kidding me? No, I want to be in your skin.
Oh my God. See. No. So is getting in an argument, sleeping in the other room, okay?
Honestly, it depends on how bad the argument is. Because I also feel like people would use that as an excuse to be the time to leave. If it's a petty argument, you're gonna go sleep in the other room.
Oh no, you said you are.
So that means you're just petty.
I'm not like that.
The argument would have to be big. Because never mind, I ain't gonna say that.
The only way I'm sleeping in another room if we got some understanding, we coming back to it the next day. That's the only way I'm sleeping in another room. I don't do no like blind, like I'm about to try to stir this up. Let me go in the other room. But people do need space sometimes, and people are tired. I do get that. It ain't gonna be the same person every time though. My back ain't about to be hurting every time we get in an argument now. Go let yours hurt a little bit. Nah, get some couch action yourself. Nah, dog. Especially, I'm gonna be real with you, and people may not be this honest, especially if it ain't my fault. If you pissed off over something I'm trying to prove to you, and you ain't trying to hear me, and I need space, go get your space. It ain't gonna be me.
I agree with that. That's my point.
I think that's fair.
Because I'm gonna be real. I feel like no matter how mad you are, we should be able to turn our backs and go to sleep.
Yep.
It ain't that deep.
And I can still put my feet on you.
See, you see, Princess, you try to try to provoke somebody, man. That's grade A gaslighting. Get your feet on me, dog. You just dog cuss me. You got your feet on me? What? Can't be bad, dog. Nah, I'm not with that. I'm not with that.
I said something about this at the party.
Yeah, for sure.
for me, I couldn't do it personally, but I know actual real life couples that it does work for them for different reasons, right? Like, and what's interesting is that when I've seen it with people, they've either been like in older generations where it's like, I got tired of listening to his snoring for the past 55 years. He could sleep over there, and when I feel like sleeping next to him, I sleep next to him, right? Or I don't want to listen to that sleep apnea machine, so I'm not going to do it every night. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen it with older people, and it works for them. I've also seen it with like the younger generation that are getting married earlier that still have that I want to be my own person, and so they even call like sleepovers with their spouse. Interesting concept to me, but it is a thing that is working for them, right? So like when I brought it up at the pod party, like I have seen it work for some people, right? For me, I look at it more, I think to Keenan's point, to what one of the ladies said in the thing, I like the idea of everybody has their own space. Just like whether it's an office, whether it's a makeup room or whatever it is, I do think that people should have their own designated spaces in the house. But yeah, like I don't think I've seen it work for people, and it makes sense in my head for the people that have been married for like, like 50 years. That's like, yeah, no, I'm not listening to that sleep apnea machine that I've been listening to for the past 37 years. I can see how that makes sense. That's all I'm saying.
How do you feel about? Oh, go ahead, Kenan.
No, it's your world. Go ahead, Princess.
I don't know how to take that. How? I really don't.
Princess, just give us a list of triggers, okay? Just send us a list of triggers,
like it's
and we'll know
your topic
what not to do.
Hey, Louis, trigger one.
Go ahead.
How do y'all feel about your spouse or your partner living in a different state? Like, have y'all seen those videos going around of like Shirley Ralph talking about? I think she's been married for like, I don't know, 25 years, maybe more or something. And she lives in LA and he lives somewhere else or something like that. And she's like, it works for them. Like, does that work for y'all? Do y'all think y'all could do it?
No.
I'm too dependent on my wife. And it's not so much it's the emotionally dependency that I have, because
hey, Louis B, break out the vulnerability, my boy.
It's true, man. Listen, man, like my wife is, and I don't even know if y'all noticed it. Like when we had the pod party and she showed up, like like my whole vibe, like, all right, cool. Like, hey, she's here. You know what I'm saying? It's just like we're so connected. And I think the irony is I say we more the opposite of what these women are talking about, because when we met, we were inseparable. Right? We didn't want to not be around one another. And a part of our reason of getting married is that I didn't want a life without her being present. That's my whole objective, my whole perspective of getting married is for you to be here with me. So the idea of not being with me, I can't even fathom the idea. So being in a different state, I just couldn't, that's not something I'd be willing to do.
No, hell no.
Yeah, no.
If we had to do it for like a specific amount of time for a specific move, I respect it, but it's not going to be our long-term plan.
Yeah.
I think to Lewis's point, I share some of that similarity, not all the way like that. I just not a believer. I believe certain things got to happen in order for relationships to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, if you like, I'm gonna be real. People ain't gonna want to say it, but like, take sex out of it for a second. I don't want dudes to tell on themselves, but everything that takes place in the bedroom outside of sex, like you're eliminating that. Like that's where you usually have most of your wind down conversations. Most of your vulnerability happens. You've taken your shower, gotten into your quote unquote rawest form to have these conversations. And like we have that, and I get up and walk across the hallway. Where the papers at? Where the papers at, dog? No, I'm not doing that because I'm gonna be. And I think the thing is, the older I get, I understand. Like for instance, right? We got kids. There was a point in our marriage. I'd be like, hey, man, if you want to go get a room away from here to get away from the madness and like go be like have some peace of mind, I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? Like that don't bother me because it's a goal that has nothing to do with me. Like you just need to like just go. I know it's loud, wild, but I'm not doing that and setting a precedence. There's no way that's in my mind. I'm gonna say absolute. There's no way that's happening and somebody not about to get the cheat. Sorry, even if it's emotionally.
I agree.
Like, nah, hell no. Start hearing voices through the wall.
I think there's special circumstances though.
Voices through
Like
the
I
wall.
really do think like for instance, I think it's based like look depending on certain occupations, right? So like military folks, like to King's point, it has a specific time. However, if my partner, if the person I fall in love with, that's like, you know, life goal and all that kind of stuff, and that's what he stands for, like that will be hard, right? It would have to be a decision that I would have to make, but people do it every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to sit up here and say like people in the military don't deserve, you know, love and happiness in a spouse. Granted, yes, I know that sometimes they can, you know, it could be in the areas with them too. But just saying, right? Also thinking about people that like travel nurses, for example. So for me, I do think like for a specific time frame, to Keenan's point, I do think that it is okay and it makes sense and people do it all the time. So I don't think that it's like, oh, because they're doing that, they're automatically going to be cheating. Like I don't think that that's always the case.
Hey, look, hey, fellas, never mind. Like, just think about if you had that conversation with your lady, you go back to your little bungalow on the other side of the house, and you hear that headboard vibrating through the wall. You're gonna be hot. You can be like, hey man, what's going on over there, dog? I just left over there, man.
No,
now you got to send a text like,
vibrating
hey,
through the wall.
Like what's going on, dog? Like, the headboard going off. Oh, I just left it. Imagine having a text to be like, hey, what's going on over there?
Hey, keep back this.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I decided. All right, man. We about to get in a fair or foul, then we gonna get up out of here. All right. So fair or foul. Your partner should learn how to satisfy all your sexual needs. Is that fair or is that foul? Appreciate everybody that's tapping in the chat right now, man. Please make sure you subscribe to the page. And I want to see everybody tell me if is that fair or foul. So, panel, you should learn to satisfy all your partner's sexual needs, fair or foul.
I think that's.
I think it's fair.
I think it's fair.
The only reason why I'm going to say foul is because what if it's one of those hard hell no's?
Okay.
I think it's fair if you want to explore, yes. But yeah, to kind of get to you, if it is a hard no, you can't push someone's hard no in their limits.
Yeah.
I agree. No means no. No means no.
Yeah.
But I just feel like, doesn't that open the door? I'm not being funny, but like, doesn't that look, if somebody has an overwhelming need that's not being addressed, like, wouldn't that open the door?
To what?
To cheating?
I'm not saying what's next. I'm just saying
okay.
But that stress that goes back to the point we were talking about earlier about communication. Because I feel like if you have a strong desire for something, that should have been communicated from the jump. Because if I'm not into it, like, I'm gonna tell you right now, we're not doing what you just. We're not doing that. I'm not doing that because I'm not comfortable doing that. Mm-hmm. So then, then the decision can be made to pursue the relationship or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I would also just say, like, don't leave room for assumptions. Like, there can be so many what ifs to every situation. But if you really want to know, just ask. Have that conversation with your partner. It may be tough. It may be uncomfortable. It may be awkward. You may not hear what you want to hear. But it's necessary, especially if you truly care about that relationship and that person and wanting to have a better relationship and better sex.
Mm-hmm. So can I ask, what's the what's your thoughts on when one person has a requirement that they're not willing to fulfill themselves?
When you say,
or has a need or a want that they're not willing to fulfill themselves to their partner. What's your thoughts on that?
Closed mouths don't get fed.
No,
like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. What are you asking specifically?
So like if somebody wants you to do something that they won't do to you.
Oh, well, that's selfish.
Okay, yeah, like
it happens every day. Y'all call it something. It happens every day. I know. Hey, look, man. I am not trying to get in the trick bag. Huh?
Give an
So
example.
you're saying that you're asking if it's okay for you to ask a partner to do something that you wouldn't want done to you. Is that their question?
So man, golly, I'm about to get in the trick bag. Okay, this is what I mean. I've seen situations where a lady may like for something to happen to her, but she doesn't do that. That's what I mean.
Like what?
Come on, Bree. Damn, man.
So
I'm
like
trying to stay out the trick bag.
Hold on. So if there's a woman, right, and she's like, I want you to perform oral sex on me, but do not ask her to perform oral sex on you because it's not happening. That's what Keenan's talking about.
Okay, so is that a specific hard yes or hard no? If you're like, I need oral sex in order to be sexually aroused and to have sex with you, but that person is saying a hard no, are we sexually compatible at that point?
No.
I'm asking the audience. What do y'all think?
No.
Like, yeah.
No, okay, no, okay. This is my thing. I agree, but I think that happens more times than not. Like I get the oral example, but I also feel like your sexual needs can't be on a wild meter of 10, but what you like, even if your sexual needs can't be on a wild meter of 10, but what you're willing to give to be on a 4 is what I'm saying. Because even though it may not be compatibility in the sense that like I'm not exchanging act for act, but like if I ask for a whole lot of things, but I just don't feel like I don't want to say no bad terms.
Like reciprocity, you're not getting what you're giving in return. Is that what you're trying to get to?
Yeah.
Like again, like I feel that brings us back to if you feel like you're giving more, whether that's sexually or in a relationship, and you're not getting back in return, you no longer have reciprocity. That's necessary for intimacy. So like if you're missing that very important component, what do you have? That's going to be a struggle to try to make work.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. I ain't saying nothing else. I ain't getting in the trick bag no more. Yeah. All right, Marcus Sale, we have a comment. He says, depends. Need to have sex with you this time? Nah. Needed to have sex with only you? Absolutely. Nah.
Yeah. If it's a situation to where a person doesn't want to have sex in that moment, that's completely different than like you getting into the specifics of certain desires. At that point, that person may not be in the mood. They could be tired. You know, there could be so many things going on to where they don't want to have sex at that moment. But that I wouldn't necessarily go as far as to say that like you should end the relationship immediately just because they're not on the same page with you every single time. It takes a conversation. It takes addressing the issue, getting to the root, and then seeing how you can move forward, whatever adjustments, whatever options you need to take in order to move forward and stay healthy and on the same page.
So what are some we'll close out here soon. Hey, Marcus L is crazy, man. Hey, appreciate you tapping in, bro. Hey, he said see, the expert agrees with me. What are some?
She did not.
Princess,
I'll
ahead,
say
man.
it. You don't have to say it. She did not. But go ahead.
So what are some red flags that you see when couples are having the non-sexual compatibility, but they may not know how to communicate that to each other? Like what do you say that looks like without it being said? Because people may not know what that looks like in their relationship. Does that make sense?
So are you asking like a non-sexual way, like how that can show up in the relationship?
Yeah.
Like outside of the bedroom?
Yep.
That can definitely look like, you know, not having conversations, not having like serious conversations, avoiding like very important topics, making certain assumptions without getting like direct answers or direct information from the partner, being controlling or trying to kind of like only say what works for you works for us. You know what I'm saying? Like a person being that one person that's in control, not wanting to hear the input of the other person. And then also just lack of vulnerability. Like there's only so much you can do and so many things that one person can work on in the relationship. If that other person isn't willing to put in the same work, they're not willing to show up in the same way, that's never going to work. You're never going to be able to find that balance because there's one person that's going above and beyond while the other person stays below. You're never going to find that balance. So I would say, yeah, that would definitely be, all of those would definitely be red flags. And that would also still, again, reflect in the bedroom. Any type of relationship issue can definitely directly reflect to your sex life.
Okay. So do y'all have anything else on the fair foul? I know my camera went out. Do y'all have anything else on the fair foul?
No.
No.
Hey, so Bree, could you tell everybody where they can tap in with you at, your socials,
Yes.
where they can find you, your exact range of services, all the above?
Yes. So you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Sexology with Bree. And that's Bree with an E, BRE. And then if you go to my website, my company is Ashe Sexual Wellness. So if you go to ashesexualwellness.com, you can see all of the services listed there. I have pleasure product consultation. So if you're looking into like wanting to explore toys, wanting to explore kink and wanting to like figure out what that may look like specifically for you or your relationship, that's definitely a service I like to offer to clients. I also do sex and relationship coaching. So if you have a sexual concern like low libido or, not keeping erections or vaginal pain during sex, things like that, or just wanting to have better sex in your relationship, how to have those conversations, things like that. I do sex and relationship coaching, and then I also do sexual workshops, kind of like how we all just sat here and I answered questions and we had really great discussions about sex and sexuality and relationships. I do curated workshops about specific topics surrounding sex and sexuality. The next one I have is going to be in March about pleasure for vulvas. It's called Cliteracy Class. So you will be learning how to please those with a vulva, things like erogenous zones, pleasure mapping, how to have those conversations with your partner about it, specific like techniques and things like that. Those are a really great way to where, again, like if you're just wanting to do some research or wanting to learn a little bit more, I also open up at the very end of those to ask specific questions if we have time. And then any other like questions, you can always reach out on social media. I'm mostly on Instagram. I do weekly Q&As, and then just general sex ed, sexual health posts as well.
Bet. So thank you all for tapping in with us on this episode of Millennials vs. World. Bree, thank you so much for coming through, dropping knowledge, dealing with all our questions, dealing with the crowd. Thank you. This has been another episode of Millennials vs. the World. It's your boy K. Mims. I got the ladies of the Monday Night Crew, Miss Brittany, Asia, and Princess, and we have Bree, Sexology with Bree. This is Millennials vs. the World, and we are out.